Hello, beans, weens, and the sauce. Welcome, oh goblin army, ye of old. I have made tea, and it's just regular black tea, like Tetley or something, and I put a little bit of vanilla in it. Normally, I save my vanilla specifically for, Earl Grey, but I do not have any Earl Grey right now, so it's just regular, just regular tea. I do have this prepared off to the side because I feel like this is gonna be a trip. So you guys may or may not be aware that we kind of took a look at, I think, 2 videos from a guy who goes by Luke Korolowisk. I don't know how to pronounce this. KOROLOWICZ. Oh, homemade latte. Oh, would love to try that. That sounds delicious. Anyway, we're covering Luke. He calls himself Luke the Duke. He does that. He's the guy who does the pin-up drawings of ladies to sell his artwork and then complains about ladies doing pin-ups. You know, normal things. So I've covered 2 of his, and in doing so, I have been made aware that apparently... Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me do this. Hey, there you go. Apparently, this guy is not only, like, sanctioned by his father. Like, his dad shows up in his live chats, encourages him, and for all intents and purposes, trolls his own son, but is the one who provided him all of the fat material. I've also been informed that he's, I guess, apparently, like, literally the worst kind of person. So we're just gonna, like, dive a little bit down this rabbit hole, and because we haven't looked at any of his live streams, we've only looked at his videos. But we have one video that we're gonna look at first. It's only 11 minutes long. Honest Red sent this to me, so I was like, okay, all right, well, we'll watch this. We'll watch this and see what's going on, and then we'll do a little bit more and see if he's got, like, how he does on live. So let's just switch on over. But nope, that's the wrong place. Nope, we're not. Nope. That's not it. There we go. Hello. Are you ready? This guy's got this tag in here again. Turn on the closed captions. Make sure our volume is up. All right, let's dive into this.
Holler if you hear me, and welcome to this edition of Luke's Sketches, because the world of Disney is not done immolating itself like a Buddhist monk protest in the Vietnam War. They have a hell of a lot more kerosene to go and dump all over the place. So
Okay, that's a really bad comparison. Out the gate. Just out the gate. Those people were protesting for, like, rights and the treatment of their people. Disney is a big old corporation that doesn't let anybody else play with their toys. You could have picked anything, and you picked... Okay. Oh, this is a rough start.
let's go and make sure that every little drop gets used, because these are the kind of people that deserve what's coming to them. I mentioned about how the Galactic Star Cruiser is being closed down over at Star Wars, their little park they're having over there at Disney. Yes, 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 because, well, you know, when you aren't making profits, you're making losses, and, well, cutting down a hotel is the least of the worries for Disney. And
that's not how that works. That might be a mentality that some people hold, that if you're not profiting, you're losing, but there is such a thing as a plateau, right? Viewing this is going to start to hurt, I fear. That's what the beer is for. We will numb the pain as we go. No, the thing is like, this is a very big problem when it comes to particularly late stage capitalism, and it's when it's a matter of business philosophy. Business philosophy currently kind of lives in this bubble of growth every year, more, bigger, more and more profit, regardless of like how the company, whether or not the company is healthy, right? You don't have to grow or make a profit to still have a good business, right? Because the model is not inherent about whether or not you're making additional profit. You can break even and have actually had a fantastic business year. It's just not that simple. I don't expect Luke to know this. I suspect that's not even quite what he's talking about, but it makes his kind of analogy fall off on its face either way.
And getting those problems out of the way is a good idea, but remember, that's a little thing that they can take care of, and all right, this isn't something that we can go and is going to lead to people on Twitter being angry at us, so we can get rid of that. But getting rid of things like the garbage Snow White remake, oh no, they are standing behind that, and all
Yeah,
the wishful thinking and the hopeful clickbait that was going around of saying, oh, is Rachel Ziegler fired? Turns out, no. What that means, all it really meant was that she's getting fired off of the casting of another Paddington movie, which, well, it shows you silly little British films about silly little British kids material have better sense to what is creative or what will bring an audience and what won't than...
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. Paddington Bear is a massive franchise. Like, huge. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm trying to just fix my camera real quick. I'm facing the wrong direction. Now am I fit? Nope. Where's the option to flip myself? Oh no. There we go. Flip. Hey, there we go. Now at least I'm looking this way. So we're flipped around. But Paddington Bear is, I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Okay, so let's, first off, let's just look at Paddington Bear, right? Like, just even the Wikipedia about Paddington is, like, it's 1958. It is children's literature. I don't think there's anything about that that's unusual. But it's... Paddington Bear has been adapted for television, film, commercials since its first appearance on the BBC in 1966. The Paddington broadcast from 1976 to 1980, critically acclaimed, commercially successful films, Paddington in 2014 and Paddington 2 in 2017 were both nominated for Outstanding British Films. So, like, Paddington isn't exactly small by any means. Listen, this is a problem where you have with people like Luke, right? He seems to think that if it's not something that interests him or something that he's, like, invested in, it's not important. And that's just not how the world works. That's not how that works at all. In fact, what makes the world different and makes the world creative and interesting is different people being interested in different things, and maybe you should explore something like that. It's not like Winnie the Pooh is the American huge version of a stuffed teddy bear. There's so many teddy bears. Rupert was a teddy bear, or like was a bear. There's the Bernstein Bears, which are huge. Paddington Bear, Winnie the Pooh. There was, what's the other one? A corduroy. There is so many. Yeah, Paddington Bear is estimated to be worth $1 billion. Like, what do you mean is gonna captivate audiences? You don't know anything about film. What are you talking about? I cannot with this. Yeah, people love bears and stuffed bears and toy bears. And, like, Winnie the Pooh is also fucking massive. So, like, why would Paddington not be successful? It's not only is it massively successful, but it absolutely brings in audiences. That's not even a question. Why would you just throw this out here? Because it's not a movie you want to watch? Sorry, it's not for you. Not everything is about you, Luke the Duke. Fuck off. Not everything. Women aren't only about your stupid ass fucking micro penis sexual fantasies, and children's literature isn't for you. It might be your fucking reading level, but it doesn't mean it's catered to you. Dear Lord. I feel like this is the kind of person who needs to, like... he has the reading comprehension of like a 7-year-old. He's, like, Dr. Seuss books are too complicated. My god. Yeah, Paddington, the first movie, grossed $75 million. Yeah. In the United States dollar. Yep. Yeah, it was massively popular. It was there, believe it or not, there's a lot of children who like to watch movies and enjoy teddy bears. It's almost like Build-A-Bear is a thing that fucking exists. Oh my god. We're 1 minute and 20 seconds in. Oh.
In our modern Hollywood. Maybe that's what we need. We need the creator of Wallace and Gromit to be in charge of Disney now. Kick Bob Iger to the curb and have Nick Park be in charge, and he might be able to look at everything that's being done and actually make it, profitable and successful, or at the very least, watchable.
So the thing is like it or not, Disney is currently successful. The worst effective thing going on for Disney right now is their streaming service. That's the worst thing. I don't care about Bob Iger. He could go fuck himself because of like plenty of reasons, but that's a different conversation. If you want to talk about whether or not somebody can make something profitable, like the writer or the author of Wallace and Gromit, there's a difference between being a creative and being a good businessman. Right? There's a difference between being good at business and being good at creating art or bringing art to fruition. I don't know if he's just good at parroting his dad or if he actually reads. Well, he's got to read this script.
And yes, first thing first would be to get rid of Rachel Zegler, but she is only a part of the ever-cascading, open, blossoming flower of self-destructive stupidity and entitlement and egomania that is going all over the world of the Walt Disney Company.
I feel like your projection is showing, since you clearly don't give two shits about facts, profit numbers, or like just seats sold, or any actual piece of verifiable information about something just because you happen to not have gone and seen it or don't think you would enjoy it. Maybe you should watch the Paddington movie. Maybe you would like it. Maybe it would teach you a lesson that you never learned in your childhood. I don't know.
Because if you thought that they were done, remember, this is Disney with their decades and decades and decades worth of library of popular movies. There's an awful lot they have in their back pocket that they can go and piss all over with SJW bullcrap. If you thought that Marvel Comics wasting its 80 years of history and creativity on crap like Kamala Khan and on the garbage that they've been doing, where you look at the people that are doing comics online and crowdfunding them and how much better they are versus the idiotic social justice warriors who can't draw a straight line without a tablet are doing these days, and you're thinking, these are the kind of people you're hiring and not these people online, well, if anything, you're doing them a favor by going independent. And
okay, so here's the thing. Not all are created equally, and there are people who have started their careers online who have gotten production for shows. Has-Been Hotel is on its way out. Like, we're actually getting a Has-Been Hotel. Same with Hell of a Boss. Both of those were series that started online, right? They were an individual working on a project. That got blown up. And the thing is you also run the risk of things like Tsundere, the Yandere Simulator. And Yandere Simulator blew the fuck up. Another example of like going from indie, like small one-person indie to huge is, if we want an old school example, you can go with Ultima. Ultima started as one dude programming, and it was just Richard Garriott. Eventually got sold to EA, and then EA blew the whole thing up because EA is a garbage fire. But if you want a more recent example, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's started as a very... Yeah, right, yeah. See, Athens knows where I'm going with this. Five Nights at Freddy's started off small, indie, one guy. Another one is Undertale. Undertale was, like, what, 3 people worked on it? So, like, Minecraft, right, Minecraft. There's a plethora of examples of this happening, right? And the thing is that Marvel has specific rules and things that they want to do and things that they want to follow. Whether or not they're doing them effectively, you can have things that, because comic books have covered social forever, especially Marvel. Marvel, Stan Lee, and like what do you think the X-Men is about? It's about fucking prejudice. What do you think is more SJW than people are people and why should it be that you and I should get along so awfully? Like that's what it was about. Spider-Man was about being different. This is like all of this stood on Kirby's and Stan Lee's shoulders. The Marvel has always had a liberal lilt to it. So it's not unusual for them to have talking points that are about like empowered women or an empowered underclass or an underclass or a minority fighting for whatever it is that they're fighting for. Right? That's not unusual in Marvel. In fact, whole franchises are built on it. And so that's fine. If you think that a certain comic book or a certain string of stories are not good and they feel like they're pandering, that's fine. Then review that and show that and demonstrate that. But all you do is bitch. Like, you don't create anything. All you do is complain. My goodness. Also, I do like the hit about being like, I do traditional art. How dare you use a tablet? You can't draw a straight line. Well, unironically, drawing things that are not straight. I enjoy doing traditional art. I enjoy doing digital art. It's fine. Don't be a little negative Nancy.
In this day and age, the internet has democratized so much of what is happening in the world that you can look at the world of comics, the world of filmmaking, video game development, and so many of those tools have now been scaled down in their expense so much that you can honestly go and make a movie like an independent film with CGI and effects, special effects and sets and costumes and all that, and it would actually wind up being as good or better than what you're seeing from Hollywood these days. Look at the fraction of the budget that The Creator is out now. That science fiction film from the director of Rogue One, and with pennies compared to the gluttonous idiots over at Disney were doing to spend on something as forgettable as Rogue One. He's now doing something that's getting people, online critics that people actually trust, like the Critical Drinker, to praise it. And on the opposite end of that,
that's the high. That's the high end. You know you've made it when the Critical Drinker that's how you know. This is one of those things where it's like things are only successful if they get enough clout or they make enough money, unless they spent too much doing it. But there's no line; it's completely arbitrary, right? So if you're Disney, it's bad, but if you're somebody else, it's good, right? Because there's no consistency in the expectation, right? Is because it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Luke will literally just do nothing but jerk off to how much he needs to complain about a movie he's gonna end up saying I didn't even go see. Right? So, like, it's not geared towards you. You already didn't care, and so now you're just not gonna go watch it, and nobody's gonna care. Because you're not the target audience. So it doesn't matter if you go spend money on it because you want to bitch about it more. Yippee for Disney. Like, you're giving them free press.
We've now got another. When it comes to Bob Iger, he's pretty much like Bill Goldberg, the kind of guy who just looks at the lineup of classic Disney properties and thinks, who's next? That's what Bob Iger is. He is storming down through the field, out from the back of the dressing room with the police escort, everyone chanting his name, the thunderous, threatening musical march behind him as he gets out to the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all he cares about is who's next. Which classic Disney IP is he going to piss all over? And it seems now he has selected little Mr. Bambi to be the next Disney classic to get just dragged over a coal fire, to get, forced onto the casting couch, bent over by Dan Schneider, and, shown the 50 states. Because who do we have? We've got now the public talk there, a public interview with a writer who happens to feature the names Lindsay and Anderson. And for those who don't know, it's sad to see. It's not only terrible on the first base to see that there's going to be a adjusted for modern audiences Bambi live action, but we're also going to have to put up with the name of the festering cunt involved in.
Alright, so not live action anyway, right? Like, it'll be CGI. The same with The Lion King was CGI, and it'll be bad, but it's gonna be bad for plenty of reasons. Bambi was already really gay and trans-coded, Like, you can call me Flower if you want to. Like, come on, man. So if Bambi came out today, you'd be pissing all over it anyway. So why are you fucking angry? You wouldn't like it to begin with. Yeah, they're not gonna cast a real deer. What the fuck? What is this trash? Disney in the 80s, sorry, Disney in the mid 90s would have cast real deer. How do I know this? Because 101 and 102 Dalmatians existed in live action, and they were actual puppies. They had a shitload of little spotted goobers running around. That movie had a house in it. Back in the day, Disney had balls. Currently, no balls. Do I think there are other films that could do better? Yeah, I talked about it when I talked about Snow White. I said, here's some other options that could have been good, that films that could use another chance or a breath of fresh air. A modern Bambi, I don't know, are kids gonna like it? It was a kids movie. Like, if they remade Fox and the Hound, which I would be very sad about because I feel like it's almost near impossible to make it as good as it was. But am I gonna be mad about it? No, I'm just not gonna go watch it. Not blame everybody under the sun. Dear Lord.
In the production so far to give us the name of acclaimed filmmaker Lindsay Anderson. Yes, that's Lindsay Anderson, something she'll be thrown to the woods and forgotten about as soon as this movie comes out and bombs. But
sure,
yeah, if only
so
for the sake
he's
of
our tracking, by the way, Luke is 0 on 0 on 0 about which movies will and will not be successful. Because before he was talking about how bad Barbie was gonna be, and Barbie blew everything out of the fucking water. And so he has not, as far as I know, has not gone back and retracted that or corrected that statement. He just, like, he's one of those people who's like, the world's gonna end on this day. I mean this day. I mean this day. I mean this day. Except instead of saying, I mean, because that would be acknowledging an error, he just keeps saying different days. The movie's gonna bomb. Disney's so poor. No, they're not. They make so much money. They're a failure. By what standard? How about, tell you what, we get a set standard that you can have and you can present, and you set the boundaries and the rules of your standard, and then we can sit down and we can analyze whether or not what you're saying holds any fucking water. Sorry, not what you're saying, what your dad is saying. Because again, from my understanding at this point, apparently you can't even write your own scripts. Somebody else is writing your scripts for you. Does he do the line art that you're painting in too? Is that a color by numbers that you got going on? Oh, buddy. Oh, he's just a poor little guy.
Of Lindsay Anderson's best-known films being a little movie did in the 60s called If, where we can at very least have a nice good imagination, a nice good dream about everybody involved in modern Disney being lured out into the open fields with some gas going off, and then Malcolm McDowell and friends decide to open fire. Because these are what is she saying? This bitch is talking about how the original Bambi is too traumatizing for kids. Well, first of all, it's a goddamn movie, and on top of that, you're not a child, you're just speaking on behalf of children. Like, what have you done in your life, your career, that ever makes us believe that you know anything about kids?
What that makes anybody think you know anything about kids? You know, you could, like, look up studies about children, right? Like, they're not some, like, vague creature of the Black Lagoon. You can just go and ask a kid. So what? It's her opinion. So she wants to make a less traumatizing version of the movie. So what? What a weird angle to take.
You're another miserable, intellectually pretentious, childless, boxed wine-loving...
How many kids do you have? Luke, how many kids do you have? Do you have none? Is it 0? Is it 0 because no woman wants to fuck you? That's why you're so mad about drinking box wine? Because no matter how much box wine she consumes, she's never gonna fuck you? Luke burst from the womb. Burst from his father's balls, fully formed.
Pill freak little career woman who looks at a child with disdain and anger. That's why when you think of if I even wouldn't even heard of it in the first.
Why do you think if she's saying you say that she says that Bambi is too traumatizing for children and she's concerned for children, you can't then turn around and say she hates children because what she's doing is out of concern for children. Why do you contradict yourself from one line to the next? Because all you can do is read a script, and you can't edit the script. You can't comprehend the script. So nobody's editing it for you because somebody's only writing it for you. Hire an editor.
First place, but if I showed you a little picture of little 8-year-old Sequoia Turner and what Black Lives Matter did to her when her 8-year-old life was cut short by those violent thugs, you would probably, in the inside, think,
what?
Hey, one less child, remember, something carbon emissions, something, we have, our population's okay, something, the Earth can't take it. Yeah.
What? Did he just claim eco-terrorism on behalf of Antifa? Is that what I just heard? What? What? Black Lives Matter did an eco-terrorism. So this lady is really mad about kids, so she's making a safe for children Bambi movie. That's the line we just followed. That's the line we just followed. Hey, generic. I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. I have no words for this pinup trail that we just followed of just non sequitur into non sequitur into non sequitur into non. None of these things are connected at all. I don't know how we got from Bambi movie and Disney making bad remakes, which I could agree with, all the way to Black Lives Matter did an eco-terrorism. Which I'm gonna need a citation for, because when did that happen? Where? Excuse me, I need to call up Jeff Holiday, the leader of Antifa, and just be like, hey, did you guys plan an eco-terrorism? What?
Yeah, this imaginary deranged idea of sacrificing children.
Yeah, this is an imaginary deranged idea for sure. I don't know why you came up with it. Or sorry, your dad came up with it for you. My bad. Thank you so much.
For the planet is ancient pagan blood hunger, but I'm going to believe you are somebody that is progressive and open-minded.
What? Hold on, I'm sorry, I have to put that back. We're sacrificing children?
Imaginary deranged idea of sacrificing children for the planet is ancient pagan blood hunger, but
sacrificing children for the planet is ancient pagan blood hunger. But anyway. I don't really want to go into talking about, like, school shootings and, like, who does school shootings and why they're doing school shootings. Because that's a whole ball of wax that, we're talking about the Bambi movie. Captain Planet is a pagan god. Oh, praise be to Captain Planet. Oh, no. I would like to add, this is coming from the mouth of a man with a blonde bowl cut. He looks like a villain from Stephen King book adaptation. R-rated Captain Planet. Oh, no. Listen, sir, was your sketchbook and your pens ethically sourced? Oh boy. Ugh. We're gonna take a child and sacrifice it to Pele next Friday for our volcano show. Come and join us. I don't know where to go with this. Like, where do you go from here? Don Cheadle, Captain Planet. Don Cheadle, Captain Planet is the best Captain Planet. No, Pele, the mountain, the volcano, the goddess, the Hawaiian goddess. Okay, I don't. This is Bambi. We're supposed to be talking about Bambi. We've gone from like regular Bambi, Disney makes bad remakes, into the Happy Tree Friends crossed with the South Park Christmas special. Look, I'm just saying there's a number of pagan child sacrifices I could live with if it solved our energy crisis. You know what, maybe. So here's the thing, right? So does it count as sacrificing children if you choose not to have a child? Right? So you would have had a child, but because of the current economic and global ecology, what's the word I'm looking for here? Environment, there we go. And you take those things into mind and you choose not to have a child, does that count as sacrificing a child? Because there are trends that are downwards in producing children, but I don't see Antifa running around shooting up fucking primary schools. Like, when the fuck did any of this happen? Chanted blood for the blood god. Consume children. Where are we going? Sir, can I please get off this train? I don't know what station we've arrived at. A Family Guy cutaway? Yeah, that's not wrong.
I'm going to believe you are somebody that is progressive and open-minded, and all of your thinking and all of your actions is going towards the way of the future.
Okay, but you're the one who said... Okay, so his whole thing is saying this lady is not going towards the future and she's not open-minded, when she's saying, hey, let's make a new Bambi that seems to be less terrifying for children. And he's like, no, Bambi has to stay the same. Who the fuck's the closed-minded person here? Somebody trying something new that may or may not work? Or the person who's saying, no, nothing can ever be redone, changed, or adapted in any capacity? Because I feel like you're an idiot. I don't know how else to... I don't... Oh my god, Paddington! I would love a Paddington hat. Like his big red one. I want a Paddington hat now. Damn it. I got a Teemo hat. I can go get my Teemo hat.
Bullshit. All you are is nothing more than a pagan death cultist with access to social media. You dumb cunt.
What?
You know why we're
Who doesn't have access to social media? Who? Oh my god, a Paddington hat for Puck. Oh my god, Puck Paddington cosplay incoming? Yes. We're gonna dress Puck up like different various bears. I appreciate this. Do I have to sacrifice a child to watch Paddington? Apparently. That seems to be the case. This is gonna be a matter of, like, you can pay to go see Bambi, or you can bring a child along to throw in a pit of spikes to get in for free. But it's bizarre to say, like, is he suggesting that pagan people ought not or do not have access to social media? Because he seems to be confusing pagans with the Amish. Look and listen, you can't have gay sex, it just doesn't work like this. I feel like projection is 9/10 of the law with people like this. Also, notice how women are always witches and dark ones whenever these chuds hate women having opinions. That's a good point. That is a very, very, very good point.
probably living in a generation of safe spaces and snowflakes and all that, and why a former Stephen Colbert writer, I'd like to remind you, who was about to do that terrible Marvel comic that was going to introduce new characters called Snowflake and Safe Space, and just the preview of it was so belittled that they wound up throwing that damn comic to the curb and it never actually got published. Now, if only they had done that to the work of RD and Seath.
Wait a second, isn't he said like 2 minutes ago that Marvel was producing a bunch of SJW shit that was bad. Now you're telling me that they had an SJW one that they scrapped. Can this man make up his fucking mind? No, because he doesn't have one. He's just reading a script. And it's a bad script. 0 out of 10. Would not fap to this. Considering I almost never give anything a 0. Almost everything gets at least a 1. The fact that this gets a 0 is I feel like this is the first 0 I've ever given. My god. I could not get more dry.
Before he started putting anti-Semitic chapter and verses onto the shirts that Colossus was wearing in the issues of X-Men he would draw. Oh, well, you know, hey, I'm just a girl with a dream. But now Bambi, a movie that was legendary for being both a sweet little fun movie as well as something that had sad or dark or harrowing moments. You know, the kind of movie that for an audience of children is something that could actually be a good show, don't tell kind of lesson.
Bro, Troll in Central Park is a movie that exists. Not every child, movie for kids is good, and some of them could use remakes, and some of them are, more thought-provoking, and some are more just general entertainment. If they want to make a Bambi movie that is more just about general entertainment and less dark, you can still just show the original Bambi to your kid if you want to. Nobody's stopping you. It's not like if they make a new Bambi, the original one just implodes out of existence. It doesn't just Thanos disintegrate into nothing. Just watch the original Bambi, dumbass.
Of how terrible life can be, about the dark things that happen in the world, but also something where you can have a cheerful, upbeat, happy life. But I'm guessing probably because that story involves a single father, because the death of Bambi's mother means now you've got nothing but Bambi's dad to be there, and since Hollywood is, the people in charge of Hollywood are...
Bro, Bambi's dad wasn't there. I mean, the dad was there when he walked off with him, and then the next thing we know, I need to remind you people. Listen, you need to understand this. I feel like people do not remember the transition that happens. Hold on. I'm gonna play this. You don't understand. Hold on, I'm just gonna mute this real quick and just see if we get the transition. No, this one doesn't give me the transition. Hold on. The transition is what's important. Oh, none of them have the transition. Gee, I wonder why. Oh yeah, I forgot that pheasant gets shot. None of them have the fucking... Hold on. I gotta find this. I will find this. I'm not giving up. Yes. I think this is it. Hold on. Sorry, this is gonna take me a second to find. Nope. Damn it, it goes into something else. Nope. Come on, where is it? It's gotta be on YouTube somewhere. No. Let me just see if I can find it. Oh, God, come on. Bambi... Shit. Man, I can't find it. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. Alright, well, I just have to describe it then, because I can't find it. I definitely recommend rewatching this video, because it's been, if you haven't seen it in a long time, it's a very good movie. But besides that, okay, so what happens is, the mom gets shot, right? The snow is falling, his dad he's like, mother, ah, and then the dad shows up, and he goes and prances off with the dad, right? And then the scene fades to black and crossfades in to the April shower, drip, drip, drop, little April showers, because it's spring. And so it just crosses, it's like straight whiplash. I feel like the Nostalgia Critic talked about this forever ago. Hold on, let me try that. Not that I am the biggest fan anymore, but I think it's this. I think he just shows the transition. Yes, he does. Okay. This'll do it. This'll do. Watch this shit. This is fucking hilarious.
Actually, the funny thing is, have you watched this scene recently? I mean, okay, you got the mother shot, the kid looking for her, and the father saying,
"Your mother can't be with you anymore."
But watch what comes immediately after. What the hell? It's like we can't let reality sink in too deep, so here's some pretty birdies. Ooh, look at the birdies, nobody's dead.
So it straight up transitions. The back credit card. I haven't watched this shit in forever. But yeah, no, it transitions from the death scene, goes off with his dad, crossfades into twit twiddly. In the new version of Bambi, Bambi's mother doesn't get shot. She goes to the store for milk and cigarettes. Okay, so like here's the thing too, right? Is this Luke is getting pissy about a movie he doesn't even know what they're gonna change. Like, you don't even know what the change is going to be. Like, there's nothing saying that Bambi's mom isn't gonna die. There's nothing we don't have a script. We have no idea what the change is gonna be. Less traumatizing could mean a lot of things. They could remove the pheasant getting shot scene, right? There's so many parts in Bambi that could just be tweaked or adjusted, right? So he's mad about something that doesn't exist yet. I need to like clip that, just that sound effect. Alright, let's keep going. Whatever, man. It's like Bambi was a good movie. It is considered a masterpiece, especially for its time, but it's not like it was perfect.
50% daddy issues, 50% revenge fucks for not getting laid by the cheerleaders in high school. You know that anything
That's
that
all
would have a
this,
positive outlook on
everything,
would be...
every single thing with this fucking guy is all about not being allowed to fuck or fucking too much, or everything is about women and sex with this guy. Everything is women's fault, and it's all because he's not getting enough sex, or he's not gonna get the sex, or somebody else is getting sex that he wants to have, or somebody's not getting sex that they should have. Like, or women are being sexy, how dare they? Because he's not getting sex. Everything with this guy is just, this is the only thing he actually ever talks about.
He automatically crapped all over. Just look at what they did with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
You're automatically crapping all over it. Maybe it's gonna be good. I doubt it, but maybe it's gonna be good. You don't fucking know.
And how that's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, like every other ass clown
Ew.
in Hollywood that mistakes their bullcrap, their self-absorbed booze and pill-popping entitlement as some kind of great political statement, are the kind of people that, we would rather go to TGI Fridays and pay full price in order to avoid having to go see anything to do with Indiana Jones and the Dinosaurs of Destiny.
Can't open my beer!
By the dinosaurs, I mean Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her bullcrap politics that was chosen back in 1849, but is going to tell me and everybody that defends her professionally going to tell me about being progressive. Well, it really just shows you are progressively, profoundly stupid. All right?
Yeah!
That's all you are. A
You're all
generation
stupid.
or generations, like what's been going on with millennials and with Generation Z and all that, maybe now you know just why these are the kind of people where all of the faculties in colleges and in high schools are now actually giving them literal safe spaces to go and...
Millennials are the ones that grew up with Bambi, you dumb fuck. They're the ones that would have been quote-unquote traumatized. Bambi came out I can't. Oh my god, what is happening? I can't open this beer. This is the saddest day ever. What is going on? Ouch! Why is it stuck? It like moved half of an inch and then just. Ah! I gotta go get a. I'm just gonna pop it with a. I'm just gonna break it. I'm just gonna go break it. So, the pagans are stopping me from opening the beer. You know what? You're not wrong. Ouch. Ow, my poor little baby hands. So here's the thing. The millennials would be the ones giving the safe spaces to, like, generations coming down, right? So that would mean that the millennials would have been the ones watching. Like, what year did Bambi even come out in? Because I'm pretty sure Bambi might actually be a little bit earlier. I lied. Bambi was 1942. Bambi was like fucking boomer era. So, since there has been no other there has been no other Bambi movie, the millennials got the same Bambi movie. I really like that. Is that a little doggo? I love him. He's adorable. Alright, I need to go back a little bit. I need to sacrifice a child so I can open this beer. But I need to go back a little bit because I wasn't really listening. I was too busy with my beer.
Political statement are the kind of people that, we would rather go to TGI Fridays and pay full price in order to avoid having to go see anything to do with Indiana Jones and the Dinosaurs of Destiny. And by the dinosaurs, I mean Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her bullcrap politics that were flash frozen back in 1849. But
I didn't watch the
tell
new
me
Indiana
and
Jones
everybody
movie.
that defends her professionally going to tell me about being progressive. Well, it really...
Is he mad about the Nazi punching in the first movie? Ah! I'm never gonna open this.
Just shows you are progressively, profoundly stupid. Alright? That's all you are. A generation, or generations, like what's been going on with millennials and with Generation Z and all that, maybe now you know just why these are the kind of people where all of the faculties in colleges and in high schools are now actually giving them literal safe spaces to go and avoid anything that would be,
who's them? The millennials are out of college. Millennials are in their mid-30s, early 30s to 40s. They're not, entering college out of high school anymore. That's the we're past millennials. Who is he talking about? Is he a millennial? I don't know. I don't know how old this fucking moron is.
Triggering. Maybe the fact that you didn't, even on the most basic level of watching a damn kid's cartoon, ever get anything more traumatic than somebody telling you that you're not the gender you claim you are, wouldn't be such a traumatizing idea. That's what makes...
Oh my god. Alright, the issues when it comes to dead naming somebody or using the wrong pronouns with someone is that is a continuous and ongoing thing, not something that just happens once. That's what makes it an issue. That's what makes it ongoing. That's what makes it problematic. Right? So because it is a continuous thing that continuously happens, it's gonna eventually wear you down and be a fucking problem. Right? If I sat around and everybody in Luke's life called Luke Lick and misgendered them 24/7, he would have a fucking problem with that. Right? That would be an issue. Because it's an ongoing thing. It's not one person misgendering him one time or one person giving him a hard time continuously. It is societally being a problem, you fucking monkey. On the other hand, millennials are the ones who grew up with Scar dying to the fucking hyenas, Clayton and Tarzan accidentally hanging himself, Count Frollo falling into metaphorical and literal hell. We also got the same Bambi. So we got the fucking all that shit. Satan showing up in Fantasia. Fucking huh? Bro, I can't, give Please!
Makes the world of these modern audiences, these modern women, modern feminists, all of them completely goddamn pathetic to look at, or even to look at, because they want to talk about how they're great girl bosses, how they're so independent, how they're so strong, how they're so much better and smarter than everyone else.
It's not hard to be smarter than you.
These are the same people that would have a complete psychological meltdown and start eating their own feces straight out of the toilet if you showed them 10 seconds of Stifler from any of the American Pie movies. And I'm supposed to believe that they are strong and independent women. But remember, this is modern Hollywood, this is modern feminism. They're the kind of intellectually dishonest, duplicitous, self-absorbed...
We want to make Bambi more accessible for children and less traumatizing. Self-absorbed, dishonest, duplicitous, late-game feminism. Entitlement. Says a man who eats his own shit willingly. Yeah, fair. Wait, was that him? That was Luke that I heard that's into, like, scat porn, right? I did hear about that. That he's, like... Something about... I did hear something along the lines that he wants to not date, but straight marry a good virgin Christian woman, and on their wedding night, have her shit on his face. Is that this Luke? Is that this guy? I'm trying to remember if this was that guy or if I'm thinking of a different fucking troll monster. Marshall Mathers the Fourth? Oh, who the fuck is that guy? Oh, there's too many. Has he seen some of the modern media out there left-leaning? Look at something like The Boys. The Boys is way, way, way too complicated for Luke. Luke could not handle The Boys. There's no way in hell. You cannot tell me that he would be able to watch that show and even comprehend it. He would think that it's like... He'd think that it's SJW bullshit because they show that the women didn't, like, in the first couple episodes, didn't actually like or want to give a blowjob in the bathroom. Like, that's the kind of take he would have. Rough.
Scum who damn well know that nothing they ever say is true, nothing they ever say is intelligent, nothing they ever do is actually going to be worthwhile or successful at all.
Alright, got it, thanks.
So that's why they need to go and project their idiocracy, their narcissistic rage, onto things pre-existing before them that are actually successful, because at the very least they're...
And what is it that you're doing? What is this rant about again? You know what, I'll give this guy one thing. He is more entertaining than Jared.
They're not going to make anything impactful. Then they can take something that was successful and impactful from the past and destroy it. And it's not my opinion. I know I'm right. So I thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Check that you're still subscribed. And don't forget to support the channel by becoming...
No, absolutely not. Do not give this man money for this. Please, for the love of God, no! You're entitled to your free speech. You're not entitled to other people's hard-earned money for being a weenie. Oh, good God. Yeah, he doesn't have anything out here. What do we got? Ah, that Bambi. Please, God, no. Oh, no. Why does it use the chat? Oh, Lord. Alright. So, I haven't actually looked to see what else has he got going on, right? These, late nice hosts are back. I mean, yeah, the writer's strike is over. The SAG strike is not over, though, and that's kind of important. There's also the automotive strike going on, and I heard about nurses striking, if I'm not mistaken. We'll look at that on a later date. Oh my God, he's gonna rant about One Piece. Why does he always look like he's fucking crying? Video game industry on strike. As far as I know, the video game industry has not gone on strike yet, but the, oh no, did they? the VFX people joined a union. The video game industry, I didn't think they actually started. Because why is he crying? Oh my god.
Holler if you hear me, and welcome to this edition of Luke Flips, because the world of Star Wars is an...
Why does his audio suddenly sound worse? What happened? Oh my god. Oh, this just looks like a mugshot. Alright. Do you think his, like, if he's, like, reading all of the stuff that his dad's writing, is he just, like, a fucking Muppet? Like, is that what we're at here? Like, is he allowed to live a real life? Is he allowed to exist on his own, or does he just exist to vicariously for his father? Didn't even finish the painting. Did he get grounded? You didn't read the script right. Ah, Daddy, no! I'm curious to know how old his dad is, actually, at this point.
Holler if you hear me, and welcome to this edition of Luke Flips, because the world of Star Wars is an bloated corpse these days. It is a corpse where we, as the viewing audience of Star Wars, have no other choice but to take a good look at what we have been seeing of this object that was once the idol of millions, and millions and millions, and maybe even billions, and watch as it got shot in the head.
Could you please pull your camera back? Just a little bit. Like, we're really gonna do video like it's fucking... Hey, yeah, listen, I need to tell you guys... Like, are we really doing that? Can we, like, can you move, like... half a foot back? Like, just to... Come on. Please? Dear Lord. The thing is, like... Star Wars has struggled a lot since Disney bought it because, one, it's Disney, and two, they were trying to use it for its streaming service, right? And to successfully stream, you need to pump out a lot of content, like a lot of content. That's one of the reasons why the Disney streaming service is at best, right? Because they have to put out so much in such a short period of time. The reason why Netflix got successful was because they weren't producing their own. They didn't have to only produce their own. They got other IPs. Now, Disney has a lot of IPs that it can pull from, but it's still got to produce new shit. And so, surprise, surprise, surprise. Son, where's your Patreon money? I want to go out. Well, Dad, I wanted to buy some new Playboys instead of reading your old smack. Need to imagine he's using a rolled up Playboy. Alright, hold on. Before we do this, I'm going to go and get this. I'm putting this one back in the fridge, grabbing a new one and opening a new one, and then I'll open this one later because I only have 2 beers left. So this is what we're doing. I'll be back in a second. Hey, yo. Alright, we're back. I'm trying to get, like, a better vibe of, like, what this guy's deal is. Because I understand that he's reading a script. And I understand that he's trying to be, like, ranty McRantface. This one opened fine, by the way. I don't know what the deal was with that other one. I even opened it with my little hands and everything. And, like, I'm kind of wondering if he's, like, ChatGPT is writing the script at this point. Oh my god, T-Bob. Alright. I want to see what this deal is. Because I haven't watched, the Ahsoka show yet. She was fantastic in the animated series. So, I've heard good things.
Laid down in the middle of the
Yes.
woods, and we're seeing its corpse blow and split open, the maggots coming around, the other woodland creatures coming around, and we come by once every week or so to go and visit this corpse. That is what we, the people of the Star Wars fandom, have been subjected to see, thanks to the likes of the Walt Disney Company. And the difference, though, is that we are not the hunter that went and shot this animal.
He is so close to the camera that he's out of focus. Oh, dear Lord. There's so much, like, self-soothing, self-touching, like, I'm uncomfortable and need to protect myself hand motion going on here. Bro, are you okay? Is somebody threatening you with a gun off camera? Is that who you're looking at right now?
Because, well, at the very least, if people actually know what it's like to hunt and know what it's like to go out there and do that, we know to take the animal
Bullshit!
and put it up
No,
over the...
bullshit! You've never been hunting. I do not believe for a second that this motherfucker's ever been hunting. Not for a second! I demand evidence! Pixar, it didn't happen!
foot of our car and have ourselves a good time with it, either collecting the head and putting it on the wall, or, feeding it. Or feeding
What?
ourselves with it. Yes, because when we make mistakes, even if it's a basic turn of phrase mistake like that, we go and we know that we screwed up, we acknowledge that we screwed up, and move on. Unlike
Alright, I'll wait for your update about the Barbie movie and how well it did at the box office, Mr. I. You fucking super fucked that up and need to correct it. No way. No. Rejected. Absolutely not.
Kathleen Kennedy, unlike anybody involved at Disney, where the completely phallus-throttling failure of Ashoka being another miserable Star Wars show biting the dust, what are they getting? They're getting the SOFA Award for Female Empowerment, yeah, because as if all of the insufferable political platitudes that have been forced onto us through award shows didn't already prove to us that there is nothing more useless than this completely know-nothing idiot trying to tell us about politics or something going on in society.
Is he actually trying to pretend that, as a Star Wars fan, Star Wars was not political? What the fuck did he think the Empire was? Does he not think that... Sci-fi is one of the most politically laden styles of authorship that exists. Like, there's so much political commentary because sci-fi lets you view politics through a clear lens. Yeah, it's ridiculously on the nose, right? Like, Emperor Palpatine and the Empire and their big fuck off planet exploding laser, definitely not analogous to anything. I mean, it's kind of interesting to look at it through a lens now and being like, wow, this is a desert planet that's filled with rebels that blow up the Empire's Death Star. Definitely not a way you could look at that involves the Middle East and America. And, like, not that it was written that way initially, but time changes and marches forward, and so there are different ways you could take a story and apply it, and that's what makes movies like Star Wars timeless. Right? Like, you can take something that has a general political take and then apply it in different places in different time periods. It's one of the reasons why George Carlin's comedy is still funny to this day, is because the generalities and things that he was talking about are still relevant because they're problems inherent in people that will always politically be an issue because we're people. And if it's not an issue right now, give it 30 minutes. It'll be an issue again soon. So there's things in stories, especially since like Star Wars was a stereotypical hero's journey. Like it is, if you are familiar with media and you're familiar with what the hero's journey is and the trope of the hero's journey, it's something that you study if you ever try to take a writing class or if you ever study literature. The hero's journey is Luke Skywalker is just the hero's journey, beginning to end, all the way through. So, like, it's not even, it's, in being unique, it's not even unique in that regard. But yeah, definitely don't style about Star Trek. Ooh, look the fuck out. A whole show about political topics? Oh, dear God. But to claim to be a fan of something and to completely just miss the point is kind of odd to me. I mean, I guess you don't have to understand something to enjoy it, and you don't have to understand something to be a fan of it. I just find it very odd.
Well, now an even emptier gesture of an award is now being fired the way of Ashoka to convince you that the show is not the biggest waste of time since the next waste of time. You know, a lot of people will talk out there and try to defend these garbage Disney...
Hey, Luke, what should I watch? You keep telling me what I shouldn't watch and why things are bad. Can you talk about something you like? Because that might make you come off as less of a hateful little worm. What should I watch? Like, if I can't watch Star Wars anymore, and I can't watch anything that's out by Disney, what is something that I can watch? Is there a movie or show that exists that does not have any politics in it whatsoever? All in the Family. More Magicus Gaming. Yo, link your shit, dude. Link your shit.
Disney shows by saying, oh, it's the same cycle of people hating it and then blah, 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 blah. Well, I would say to people who don't want to see another Disney show like this be something that just winds up dividing people and
the original Bambi, I guess.
Online complain about, well, I say to Disney, you first. Make a show that isn't an insufferable waste of time, and maybe then we, the people that are supposed to be putting our money down to watch this shit,
Did you waste your time?
Actually put our money down to watch it and like it. Instead of the only actual profit motive that comes from this show being people who will take one good long look at what it is you have been doing and tell you to shut the hell up and go away, shut your mouth, you do not deserve our money, you don't deserve our...
So you already gave them your money to watch it anyway. Alright.
The only thing you deserve is us to spit on you, and spit at you at the very least, if you're quick enough to dodge, duck, dip, dodge, dive, and dodge again. Because there is nothing worthwhile about a show.
Can I watch that movie?
Not at all, and on top of that, with its anti-patriarchy, anti-male horseshit, all coming from dudes whiter, and more male than anybody else on the board of directors at Disney.
Than you? No? Oh, is that a little self-hate I hear?
But that gives you a little clue as to all these people who want to chant about inclusivity, and yet do nothing to complain at all or really take Disney to task about when it comes to all their financial failures that have been coming their way, all the bankruptcy scares and all the other problems when it comes to downsizing. The people that come from behind the camera in the boardroom are the people that are the first one to get fired, are the people...
What bankruptcy scare? Disney has been reporting record profits. What are you talking about? Hold on. Disney bankruptcy. Disney declaring bankruptcy. Hold on. Well, Disney filed for bankruptcy in 1923. Yeah, Disney ride manufacturers files for bankruptcy. Is this what you're talking about? This? This is the only thing I can find. Disney customers who don't get to see behind the curtain most likely believe that Disney has steel workers and fabricators sitting backstage waiting to create whatever ideas pop into Imagineers' heads. However, since the opening of Disneyland in 1955, Disney has always relied on outside companies to provide structures for its rides. The first company, blah, 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 Dal started a company that built large-scale telescopes and astronomy centers for government astronomers. Eventually, the company used its knowledge of steel to move into the amusement park industry in the early 2000s. Dal began building several innovative rides for the Walt Disney Company. Successful Disney, Universal, Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios. And then came COVID. As the world froze, so did the theme park construction. Walt Disney World postponed or completely shelved several projects. The stoppage came at an especially bad time for DAL. The company put all it had into a new roller coaster, the SFX coaster. Dal promised that it would be a one-of-a-kind experience and immediately sold several of them to foreign companies, including Chinese developer Evergrande, according to Forbes. Evergrande. God, I can't read. Borrowed $300 million to pay for the coasters, but then ran into financial trouble during COVID and could not make the payments to Dal. This has nothing to do with Disney having a bankruptcy scare, bro. What the fuck? It's almost like you're full of shit. Weird. Do you have anything in your rants that's actually based in fact? Because you say, that's not my opinion, I just know I'm right. And it's like, okay, based on what? You dense motherfucker? You make this COVID thing sound like it was really bad for financial matters. Weird.
That aren't white. Dave Filoni, he's got his job. Kathleen Kennedy, that bitch could shoot children in the street. And because she has such ties with Lucas and Spielberg...
You have a really big thing about, like, women apparently hating children. Like, women who have jobs hate children. Apparently. Women who are independent don't like children. What do you think about women who used to do the fostering for, like, orphans who were spinsters? What do you think about nuns who don't have sex because their bodies are for Jeebus? Midwives, yeah, he just hates women. This dude just hates women, and the reason he hates women is because they don't want to touch his pee-pee. That's it. Listen, it ain't that deep. This dude does not seem very competent, nor does he seem very complicated. This is the kind of guy that if he got women attention between the ages of, like, 15 and 18, he would have, like, less issues. But, like, I feel like that would be sacrificing children to a pagan god to ask a 15-year-old to sleep with this kid when he was 15. Like, that feels like a straight-up sacrifice, and I feel like no woman ought to be responsible for taking the hit for this. Dear Lord. Are we gonna draw lots? Alright, ladies, everybody get your straws. We're gonna draw lots. Who's gonna sleep with this man to make him shut the fuck up? This is the type of guy who would have gotten married in, like, what was it, like the 1800s? 17... Whatever. He would have gotten into, like, some kind of contractual marriage. So some poor woman would have, probably a lesbian, would have been married off to this man, and he would have definitely died of, definitely not poisoning. He would have died of a fever, and definitely not just been straight up fucking poisoned by his wife. So then she could go and move in with her best friend and be comforted after the death of her husband, because she's so sad about it. That's the type of... This guy thinks that, like, back in the day when women were in traditional roles, he would have had a good time, and the answer is no, he probably would not, A, not have had a good time, and B, probably would have been murdered.
And because she probably has some interesting evidence against some powerful men that would make Ghislaine Maxwell blush, that woman will absolutely positively never, ever, ever get fired. She is going to stay there till the bitter end. If you thought Dianne Feinstein dropping dead at age 90 while she was dying of cancer like that...
Bro, luckily, you're not in charge of anything, and I can't imagine why. It might be because you're a little too emotional about these kinds of situations to be able to actually make a reasoned and logical decision, and to put you in charge of anything or anyone would cause an inevitable downfall of whatever it was you were in charge of.
And not giving up her office until only just recently was a bad look. Well, you should take a good long look at what's happening in Hollywood.
Random
They
guy,
want to talk
yeah.
about Kathleen Kennedy or Dianne Feinstein, women like them being trailblazers. Well, they're trailblazers as in Feinstein blazing a trail over the corpses of George Moscone and Harvey Milk to muck a camera to get her face out there and forward her political career. Or Kathleen Kennedy having absolutely positively nothing to say about all the men in Hollywood that she tied herself with, that did God knows what to these people or that people, things that would make the Me Too movement go and demand change if it...
Can you please provide, like, some sort of citation? So I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you seriously going to say that women who have to exist in a system are the bad guys in the system that they don't control and have to exist within? This is just victim blaming, I guess, at this point? I don't know. He's barely in charge of his own YouTube channel. His dad seems to be the one really running it. Is his dad, like... I have so many questions. I almost want to, like, see if I can find his dad. Does his dad have his own channel? Is there, like, a... Yeah, do the poll. Absolutely do the poll. Could Luke the Duke ever get laid? Oh boy. Good luck. Alright. Is there a video? Does anybody have a video? Feel free to link it in the chat. Is there a video that the dad is, like, actively speaking in? Or, like, is there somewhere? You can hear his dad ranting in the background. Oh boy. Hi AJ, welcome. Oh boy.
It was actually about really demanding change and about demanding men be held accountable, instead of lying about men in order to get themselves advanced into the world, much like what happens to the idiotic clickbait reporters and what they try to...
As opposed to you lying about women and just making shit up because you have to justify your little shitty position. Like, your position about you don't like the new Star Wars stuff. You know you don't have to, like, just dunk on every woman everywhere just because you don't like Star Wars. You can just say you don't like Star Wars. You don't have to, like, find some crazy map. I feel like I've pulled the map down, like I'm Kronk, and I've pulled the map down of Kronk and Yzma falling down and being like, how did you get here before us? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how do we get here? Good to see you, Al. Thank you so much, LeChonk, for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Maybe.
do to go and get themselves up onto the totem pole, and then when they wind themselves around to a place where they go to a man who has the connections and the fuck you money where you can go and hurl those buzzwords all you want at him and ain't gonna do shit, like with Quentin Tarantino when he went and put that bitch in her place promoting Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at that little film festival, and little Miss Barbie Margot Robbie had no choice but to sit there and just go along with it because, well, she knows in her heart of hearts that Barbie was a fluke and that the only way she can ever...
Oh, so now Barbie was a fluke. It was going to definitely be an absolute failure. Now it's a fluke. Sure. Yeah, he's talking about that Tarantino put Margot Robbie in her place, apparently, at some film festival somewhere. I don't know. I have no information about this. You know, Quentin Tarantino's kind of known for being a little bit of a kind of a little freak. Like, he's kind of a little freaky little dude. Hold on, how tall is Quentin Tarantino? I want to know if this man has short man syndrome. Because he's the guy who's got, like, all that feet thing going on, right? Oh, no, he's 6'1". He shouldn't have short man syndrome. On the other hand, you've also got, Kill Bill, which had a ton of, like, that powerhouse woman type thing that this guy would hate. So it's kind of... What was that other one? The one with the girl who had that fucking gun leg and the eye patch. Shit. Anyway, point being, it's like, it's not like Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino doesn't do, like, women... Grindhouse, thank you. Doesn't do like fucking power fantasy women, right? It's kind of weird how Margot Robbie is hot enough to use her sexuality to get parts and isn't that pretty. Yeah, man, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Is this person living in his parents' basement? I think his dad keeps him trapped in the basement to film videos. I'm at the point where this man is being held hostage at gunpoint and has no choice but to read the script his dad gave him, being trapped in the basement. Then again, I'm not entirely sure if this person should be let out in society in the first place. Having him around for, like, regular school is, like, fucking enough. Alright, the poll is ended. The answer was, ha 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 ha. I approve. He looks like his cut... I have a question, actually. So his dad is a moderator for his channel, and he hates women. Where's his mom? Somebody had to give birth to this poor little cretin. Some poor women had to suffer to produce this fucking muppet. Where's his mother? Sir, where is your parents? Where is your mother? What is going on? His mom left or something. I can't imagine why. His mom left to get cigarettes and milk for his lazy dad and never came back. Oh, no. I mean, I can understand that this man thinks he's special. That's definitely... That's very obvious.
For being movies that actually make money is to do what she did that got her stardom in the first place. Shake her ass and smile pretty for directors who are actually successful and that people actually go and want to see because they actually have clout. You know, the exact opposite of former Russell Brand co-star Greta Gerwig that you're pretending.
You mean like... Oh yeah, bring up Russell Brand. That's a good call. You mean like Gene Kelly? Actually very successful, very talented people? Are you Chad, are you familiar with Gene Kelly? Because I will, if you are not, I'd love to acquaint you with Gene Kelly and what Gene Kelly was about. Gene Kelly was the star of Singin' in the Rain. I am going to educate you. American dancer, actor. Gene Kelly is the reason that the phrase triple threat exists. This is Gene Kelly. He's lovely. Look at this man. He's so pretty. Look at him dance. Look at him. Oh, yeah, what a little buddy. Alright. So if we go to his Wikipedia. Eugene Kelly, 1912 to 1996, American dancer, actor, singer, director, and choreographer. Yeah. Yep. He starred in, choreographed, and co-directed musical films in the 1940s and 1950s. Americans in Paris, Singin' in the Rain, Cover Girl, Anchors Away. Anchors Away was Frank Sinatra, for anybody who's interested. Yeah, etc., etc. Invitation to Dance, one of the last MGM musicals. It was a commercial failure. However, he was active in 1931 to 1994. He received an Academy Honorary Award in 1952 for his career achievements. He later in his lifetime achieved the Kennedy Center Honors and the Screen Actors Guild and American Film Institutes. And in 1999, the Film Institute also ranked him as the 15th greatest male screen legend of classic Hollywood cinema. All right, so part of things that you need to know about Gene Kelly, outside of his, like, the way he kind of functioned through, like, over the war, it's because he ended up joining the Navy. He was deferred from the draft in 1940 by the U.S. Selective Service System at the request of his employees, but was classified 1A eligible for induction in October of 1944 after an appeal to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yeah, that guy. By the head of the Selective Service in New York City, Roosevelt personally upheld the appeal. Kelly was inducted into the Armed Forces a month later, and at his request was assigned into the U.S. Navy. He served the U.S. Naval Air Service and was commissioned as lieutenant junior grade. He was stationed in the photography, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so part of what's interesting, and I'm just going to kind of skip ahead here, and I'll give you guys the link to the Wikipedia page. Personal life, here. From the mid-1940s through the early 1950s, his wife Betsy Blair and he organized weekly parties in their Beverly Hills home, and they often played an intensely competitive and physical version of charades known as the game. And I absolutely want to try this, but late in life, Kelly was awarded Irish citizenship, actors, blah, 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 marriages. Kelly was married 3 times. His first marriage was to actress Betsy Blair in 1941. They had 1 child and divorced in April of 1957. In 1960, he married his choreographic assistant, Janine. So it was like a good couple of years before he got married again. Then he stayed married to her until she died. But he then married Patricia Ward in 1990 when he was 77 and she was 30. Their marriage lasted until he died 6 years later, and she has not remarried. So politically, though, Kelly was a lifelong supporter of the Democratic Party. His period of greatest prominence coincided with the McCarthy era in the United States. In 1947, he was part of the Committee for the First Amendment, the Hollywood delegation that flew to Washington to protest at the first official hearings by the House Committee of Un-American Activities. His first wife, Betsy Blair, was suspected of being a communist sympathizer, and when United Artists, which had offered Blair a part in Marty, were considering withdrawing her under pressure from the American Legion, Kelly successfully threatened NGM's influence on the United Artists with a pullout from It's Always Fair Weather, unless his wife was restored to the part. He used his position on the board of directors of the Writers Guild of America. You know, the Writers Guild America West, the ones that were recently on strike. He was on the board of directors on a number of occasions to mediate disputes between the unions and the Hollywood studios, right? He was raised a Roman Catholic and was a member of the Good Shepherd Parish and the Catholic Motion Pictures Guild in Beverly Hills, California. However, after becoming disenchanted by the Roman Catholic Church's support for Francisco Franco against the Second Spanish Republic during the Spanish Civil War, he officially severed ties with the church in 1939. This separation was prompted in part by a trip Kelly made to Mexico, in which he became convinced that the church had failed to help the poor in that country. After his departure from the Catholic Church, Kelly became agnostic, as he had previously described himself. Gene Kelly was an absolute fucking Chad. My fucking God. What a man's man. Right? Right? Absolute Chad. If you are, please go and watch some Gene Kelly movies. Please. There is definitely some, like, of that old school 1930s, 1940s misogyny in there, but my God, are they fantastic movies. If you've never seen Singing in the Rain, you are missing out. There's so fucking many. Go watch Gene Kelly. I'll wait. I'll be here. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Anyway, this fucking little turd is sitting here talking like he fucking knows anything about film, knows anything about women in Hollywood, knows anything about the men in Hollywood, and some of, like, the top... You really think... Go watch Gene Kelly movies. Fuck this guy.
Attending as a filmmaker because she blew Noah Baumbach to get her seat in the director's chair with Barbie. Kind of like the mumblecore equivalent to Kathleen Kennedy. And that clickbait article crap from the SOFA Award for this great show
Gene Kelly would have been all over the Barbie movie.
of Ashoka, or trying to tell you that Ashoka Tano is a feminist icon. No, she ain't, alright? Even in the world of Star Wars fans, she's something where you have to go and look outside of the media that people actually know about Star Wars, okay, babe? She ain't something that's all over the world.
Okay,
She's
babe.
something that is within a
No
minority
problem, babe.
of an ever-increasingly small minority. And I can't help but notice...
This man has never called women, like a woman, babe to their face. Like, this is script only. Assuming this man is ever, like, allowed out of the basement by his father, this man has never once had the balls to call a woman babe to her face. He did once and got slapped a bit. You know what? That's fair. You know what? Maybe. That would be an acceptable second place. Oh, his dad definitely put that in the script. That's like old school talk.
that all the
His ideas are just as fucking old and outdated.
minority worshipping asswipes when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to socio-political bullcrap in general, look at Star Wars and don't think, why do you keep erasing Star Wars fandom? They want to talk about they want to go and attack...
You're not erasing, you not understanding that Star Wars always had politics in it isn't erasing Star Wars fandom. Inviting new people into a fandom, because, like, telling new stories is not erasing the fandom. We're back to the same problem that he had with the Bambi movie. Making a new Bambi movie doesn't mean the old Bambi movie just erases itself into fucking oblivion. Making new Star Wars content, as if there isn't already, like, an insane plethora of canon and not canon Star Wars content, right? It's not like the fucking 1, 2, and 3, like Phantom Menace all the way to the Revenge of the Sith, was not considered absolute schlock when it came out, and which it was, and people have kind of lightened over time to their interpretation of it, right? Or the mountains of fucking books about Darth Bane that fucking exist, and like how many times the book series jumps the fucking shark. Right, like, it's not, this isn't fucking new. It's not like they made 4, 5, and 6 and just stopped making fucking Star Wars content. The fucking, on Teletoon, there was an entire animated series about the Clone Wars. I'm pretty sure it's called Clone Wars. Oh yeah, I want to talk about Snoke? Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's not... Can this guy demonstrate that he actually... If you're gonna say... I'm not much of a gatekeeper when it comes to, like, whether or not somebody's a fan, but if you're gonna say you're a fan and then use that to speak from a position of authority, I'm gonna need you to then actually demonstrate that you have any fucking goddamn clue what you're talking about. I have yet to see this individual actually speak in a way that is informative about the topic, right? He has not produced a single video that I've seen. Now, to be fair, I've only watched a couple of his videos, but I have yet to see him actually, like, talk about a subject that he's well versed in and talk about the subject. So if he came to me and said, "Hey, listen, I don't like this Star Wars thing that's coming out. And the reason is because this happened in this one, and this happened in this one, so therefore this is a plot hole." Like, he's not demonstrating any kind of, like, actual knowledge of the thing that he's speaking on. And until otherwise, I don't think he has any. Until shown otherwise, Zero.
Women who talk about them getting replaced
Oh,
by
right, it's
men in
women's
dresses
fault.
in athletic competitions and then assault them saying,
Star Wars is bad because women exist. Oh. Everything is bad. My life is bad because women exist outside of me because no woman's getting within me at all.
stop erasing us. Well, why don't you go and stop erasing Star Wars fans, jackass? Oh, no, wait, because those are people you absolutely despise, and you want to do everything you can to try and perform an ethnic replacement program on them.
An ethnic replace? I didn't know Star Wars fandom was an ethnicity. A great replacement ethnic program. Who are you replacing the Star Wars fans with? New Star Wars fans that aren't white dudes? You know, women have been part of the Star Wars fandom the whole time. I would love a demonstration of, like, you know, women hate fans of Star Wars. No, women just hate you. And I cannot imagine a woman ever meeting you in real life and not just as soon as you open your mouth be like, And, like, there are women out there that like some pretty cringe things, in my opinion, right? Like, I could totally see a woman seeing this dude in the bar and being like, oh, you know, he's kind of pathetic, that's kind of cute, I'm kind of into that. I can work with this, he's moldable. Like, women make terrible choices all the time. But I can't, as soon as you open your mouth, it's just like, well, we're done here. Maybe I was into this, and now I'm not. Goodbye. So, women who have, like, terrible taste in men are some of my favorite people that I've ever hung out with. Because, like, if you go to the bar with women who have bad taste, and you sit around at the bar, they will make any excuse to pick out, like, the worst motherfucker in the bar, and they're like, I don't know, I kind of like that guy. I don't know, his hat, like, look at the way his pants sit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, girl, what? The best. Not that I have good choice in men, by the way. That is not, or women for that matter. My personal preferences notwithstanding, we don't need to talk about that. I'm the woman. I'm the one you take to the bar to be like, we'll make any excuse. It was me the whole time. I've exposed myself. Shit. Oh boy. Oh, brother. Okay, sorry.
Except the people that you're trying to replace them with are so goddamn poor that they need 3 roommates and 2 different campaigns from GoFundMe to pay for their rent.
Sir, you live with your parents. I feel like maybe you do not throw stones in a glass house, my friend.
Where it's only even their portion of the rent for a $4,500 a month garbage place in Manhattan. So you really think those are the kind of people who have the disposable income to spend on going to whatever big new movie you want them to go see, or on keeping with the Disney Plus?
This shit was Disney, right? It is Disney Plus. It wasn't even going to the movies. There's also cheap nights. It's not. Poor people are allowed to have entertainment because poor people and entertainment are like, entertainment is like a necessity for mental health. You have to have an outlet of some variety you're not a machine. If you don't have money, you're not a machine. If you suddenly get money, you're no longer a machine anymore. It's not like the Terminator just needed more quarters slotted into the back of his neck to turn him into a real boy. That's not how it works. My guy, dude, buddy, pal, please shut the fuck up. Oh my god. It's definitely script. This is script. This has to be script. There's no experience behind these eyes.
price hikes or on keeping up with the latest merchandising. No, 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 and no. And you know what is another example of a...
Hey, you know what is targeted to people who don't have any money themselves? Nintendo. Nintendo's target audience is children and grandparents. Because these people have money, and these people will make people who do have money spend money. Guess who's not the target audience for Nintendo? This guy! You wanna know how much money Nintendo... You wanna know how much money that Disney's gonna make if they cater to this schlub? Fucking pennies. They're not gonna make any money off of people like Luke the Duke. Does Luke the Duke have money to spend on fucking... If he's got money to spend and budgeting isn't a big deal and he could make his own movie, go fucking do it, bro. Pussy. Do it. You're not gonna. You can't. Not only do you not have the creative chops, you don't have the fucking charisma either. Dear Lord. Could you imagine being a company where this guy is your target audience and everyone like him? There's a reason why Wizards of the Coast moved Dungeons and Dragons away from this kind of motherfucker. Because they're not a good audience to have. They're picky, they're rude, they're entitled, they don't fucking actually give a shit. They're not, they pretend like they're fans who care and they're the ones that matter and they gatekeep it from anybody else. Thus preventing your company from making more money. This is the worst kind of fucking individual to have as your core fan base. And look at what happened. As soon as Dungeons and Dragons moved away from fucking these kinds of motherfuckers, they made shitloads of money. Shitloads of money. 5th edition has been massively successful. They made a fucking movie that was not trash. They brought the Dungeons and Dragons characters that exist in Forgotten Realms into Magic the Gathering, and that also did incredibly well. Like, bruh. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing on behalf of the new Star Wars content. I'm not here to defend Disney. Alright, Disney's got problems. Disney's writing is questionable. And part of that, hopefully the strike will help with a good portion of that. But Disney, specifically in the streaming side of things, is struggling a lot because they're trying to create a lot of content because the streaming needs to yada, 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 yada. But yeah, with any luck. But it's not beyond Disney or any major corporation to take a franchise that has a lot of love and heart in its fan base and then using that to make mediocre material to make them money, right? So, like, how many times has Skyrim been released? You know what I mean? Like, the same kind of thing. At the same time, though, Star Wars, any new Star Wars gets a lot of fucking hate. Like, a lot of fucking hate. And then, over time, kind of grows on people and then kind of like I said, the Phantom Menace and whatever the middle one was called and the Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith were hated, panned when they came out. But nowadays people are like, you know what, it wasn't that bad. So it's one of those things where there's gonna be a push and pull. And again, keeping in mind that he's specifically talking about the Ahsoka show, which I've heard was one of the good ones. A Mandalorian he hasn't even mentioned yet. Not that he's explaining why it's bad, he's just calling it schlock and then throwing fucking discount. Like, this is the Spoonie rant that I bought off a Wish. Like, he's 7 years too late to be making this kind of content.
The kind of person who will look at all this crap that's going on in modern Hollywood and tell you, shut up, I'm doing things my way.
You shut up. You don't know what's going on in modern Hollywood. In fact, you don't even know what's going on in Hollywood. You have no understanding about how Hollywood works. We've talked about this in previous videos. Go to the channel. Find out.
Is the man behind One Piece, who has the creative control clause upon the great One Piece series that you are seeing right now on Netflix. And what did the success of One Piece now do? Not only did it make the idiots that still defend She-Hulk because that
Is this man seriously saying that it's bad for Star Wars to have politics and then telling people to watch One Piece as if it doesn't have politics and political commentary in it? I fucking knew it. I knew he was gonna, as soon as I saw the fucking little thingy, I knew the thumbnail. Fucking One Piece has so much politics in it. The current, if I am not mistaken, because I have not watched it yet, the One Piece series goes all the way to Arlong Park. Arlong and his pirates are a minority. And they're oppressing people. Are you fucking kidding? There is a world government. Just the base setup of One Piece is that there is a world government and there are pirates running around, some of which are sanctioned by said government. This is the base storyline. That's not even including Alabasta. Forgive me, Lord, for I have sinned, apparently. I don't know what I've done to deserve this, but I ask for your forgiveness. Please make me new with your blood. Something about pagan blood sacrifices. I will become a virgin in you, and I will take the hit, and I will. No, God, no, 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 no. Somebody send this man a sex doll. Dear fucking Lord. He's got too much jizz in the brain.
Know nothing waste of time. I know with She-Hulk you have to be specific, so they know nothing waste of time that stars
Sex doll lives matter too.
on She-Hulk is going out there and people are getting her imaginary fans to defend her and talk about how great and important she is as an actress. It turns out absolutely positively no, she can't do jack crap and deserves less pay than the son of Sonny Shiba, who's playing Zorro on a show that's actually beloved. And here is an actor who is the son of somebody who's actually beloved in a film market that is actually spending its money out there in that good old-fashioned Asian martial arts.
Nobody tell him about Nami in One Piece. Don't you fucking say a word. Don't do it. I'm watching you. Oh, don't fucking do it. Don't you tell him. Don't you dare. Don't tell him about Nico Robin either. Dear God, do not tell him about the doctor. Don't do it. Don't tell him about the doctor on the snowy island. Don't fucking do it.
Market. So no wonder he's actually qualified for his part to play Zorro, and why it's actually fun to see him in action scenes as opposed to some 80 pounds of nothing, or when it comes to Scarlett Johansson's brain dead ass 110 pounds of nothing because those 30 pounds are in her tits, trying to go and karate chop 17 men with 87 camera angles and 45 stunt doubles because she can't. The best acting and action she does is either on her knee.
Wait, why are you blaming the woman who was acting for the camera angles? So if the directing is bad, it's a woman's fault. If the directing is good, it's a man's. This is like, if it's bad, woman. If it's good, it was because a man was responsible. If a woman was the director, then it was actually the man in the action sequence that made those camera angles good, right? Oh, he's gonna turn me into a radical feminist? I mean, if radical feminism gave two fucks about somebody like this, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing about feminism that gives two shits about any of this. Any of this happening right here. No radical feminism is going to fucking give a shit about this. Yeah, no, fuck, man, I can't handle this. This is insane.
Are on her back and not on her feet fighting, so no wonder those type of movies never do shit, and we're excited as all hell to see One Piece. And not only that, but now One Piece is so exciting to see that it's knocked Ashoka off the top 10 of the Nielsen ratings for streaming. You know what does have...
But Ahsoka was in the top 10, though. Weird. I thought you said it wasn't successful and nobody wanted to see it. How strange. But is it wrong that it's wrong if it puts Ahsoka up there, but when it puts One Piece up there, it's then suddenly magically correct? Like, now suddenly they know what they're talking about? Listen to this guy talk is like looking at IGN reviews. It's just like, it's useless. It doesn't give me any information about any of the things that he's talking about because it's so arbitrary. This is why I said earlier, I'm like, bro, give me your parameters, please, for the love of God.
Higher Nielsen ratings right now than Ashoka. A documentary about Aaron Carter, a pop star who fell into hard drugs and was found dead in a bathtub like Whitney Houston. That guy, another example of somebody that Hollywood now chewed up and spit out like they do with all kinds of child stars.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but like true crime tragedy and like Hollywood and like big stars reach a wider audience than a niche like Star Wars, and it's one character. Ahsoka is a side piece. She was a side bit character that grew bigger and slowly bigger and slowly bigger. And in doing so, garners more and more of a following every time they make more content about her. Right, because she came up in Clone Wars. She's basically the same... she's the equivalent of Harley Quinn. She started out as a cartoon add-on for that animated series and then blew up into a character. It's kind of weird. It's kind of interesting and kind of funny how, like, these characters that are brought up as, like, women that are added as side pieces are beloved and then brought into the limelight. Funny how that's a thing that consistently happens. Do we really need to bring up how much, like, people loved Demona from Gargoyles? People loved the fuck out of Demona. She was fantastic. So, like, bro, what do you even mean? Dear God.
Or teen stars that then, once the aberrant sexual deviants that run the industry get tired of raping them, then
what happened to Nick Carter then, sir? What happened to Nick Carter? What happened to... You don't want to talk about somebody who was actually assaulted on the regular? Kesha. What happened to Kesha? What happened there? Fuckface. You're gonna be a shit about this? How about actually fucking talk about it then, instead of using it as like some kind of, using other people's assault, tragedy, and victimhood as your fucking little fucking soapbox bullshit wish rant. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, fuck off. Yeah, tragedy gets more fucking traction in the mainstream news than fucking Star Wars. This is such a fucking nonsense comparison. Yeah, here, I'll take this off so you guys can, like, screenshot that if you need it. Why would you be surprised about that? This is like you're comparing apples and oranges. This is like saying, oh, man, Arcane Season 2 came out, and I guess it wasn't that good because an earthquake in fucking San Francisco got more views. Of course it did! What the fuck are you talking about? This is absurd!
Get the fuck out of here. We're tired of you. You didn't find a way to keep making yourself useful after you turned 18 or hit the wrong side of 25. So we're gonna throw you into the woods and leave you to die. Much like the corpse of Star Wars, except, well, when it comes to Star Wars, it shows that the Walt Disney Company, they also, when it comes to many of the identity disorders...
This dude is a hateful little shit that just likes to name drop shit to try to make what he's sounding seem edgy, and it's like, you're not edgy, you're just gross.
that they love to celebrate. It seems, well, symbolically speaking, they also love to go and do a little bit of that with the likes of necrophilia when it comes to Star Wars. And here we are demanding that these assholes get arrested, but remember, this is California, where complete perverts might get arrested, they might get booked, and then catch and release, like that Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence who got caught masturbating in public. Well,
California's too liberal, so obviously this is what happens, apparently.
A man who did what...
Don't tell him that rural California is an entire section of the fucking state. But hey, what do I know? I'm Canadian. Definitely do not put a speech bubble to this face. Definitely do not screenshot this right here. And definitely do not add any kind of speech bubbles and have him saying whatever you want. Do not.
Any father would do to somebody who molested their 4-year-old child, like American hero Cain Velasquez, is got his ass thrown into jail, got his ass held out on bail until his legal team came and lobbied for him to get let out on bail because the crazy bitch doing her best to try and be like that judge that Biden wanted to put in the Supreme Court who apologizes.
What women do you like? Is there a woman that you could say, hey, yeah, I like that one? Does that exist? Is there a woman somewhere in the ether that is like, could you, again, I'm asking for parameters again. Do you have like a table of like pros and cons, and like could we build you, like could we weird science and build you like the perfect woman? Is that possible? I would love to know what his standards are and what he wants women to be. Like, he talks a lot about what they're not supposed to be and complains a lot about women and blames them for fucking everything. Can he give an example of a woman that he hates women because he only hears no? Fair. I don't think he's brave enough to talk to one, to be honest.
For convicting child molesters. Yeah, that kind of backwards world, well, remember, it's California and it deserves to sink into the city, much like how we've already seen Star Wars...
You meant sink into the sea, I assume, but okay.
Sinking into the river, much like it's goddamn Atlantis. That's not my opinion, I know I'm right. So I want to thank you for watching, subscribe, check that you're still subscribed, don't forget to become a channel member today to support the channel, or to shop my art store.
What else you got?
Commissions and color... accepted around the world.
Who commissions this man? Does anybody commission this man for art? I don't believe it. This sounds like fake news. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back. Winky face. And welcome back. Do not mind the additional buzzing going on. That is just my kettle making more hot water for my crippling tea addiction. So... Wait, shit, he knows who Nami is. Fuck. Art uncensored? Aerith? My girl better not be here. Hold on. Sailor Moon. Oh, God. Naruto. M. Bison. What the fuck? What? Okay, so he's got a stream coming up in 2 hours. And I'm almost tempted to watch it live. I'm almost tempted to just, like, you know what? Hey, we're just gonna watch. We're gonna play some TFT for 2 hours, and then we'll pull up this live. Oh, I've been DM'd. Oh dear. Oh no. What's happened? Oh, Rez. Oh my God. No. Okay, this is perfect. I don't think you what thinking is. I don't think you what thinking is. Oh my God. If he knew Berserk, he'd idolize Griffith. Oh no. Ew. Oh, this is very good. Good job. I appreciate this. This is very well done. I will share this for others later. Does he hate Lady Jojo? Oh, definitely. The city should sink into the city. That's Gotham. That's the Gotham. I think we should call it the Gotham influx. It's where Gotham like folds in on itself and just. Uh-oh, ideas are being passed around. Yeah, no, I'm half tempted. Alright, let's pick the Nami one. Since we talked about Nami earlier, let's watch this just to see. Are we gonna watch the whole hour? I god fucking hope not. But I do want to see. I am curious. Morbid curiosity.
Holler if you hear me, and welcome to this.
Oh no, okay. I've been debating on looking at some of the comment sections on my videos as well, because we have gotten a couple, like, fucking crazy Vic Mignogna fans kicking around, like, new ones showing up, and that's kind of hilarious in its own right. But besides that, there's just, like, some bizarre fucking takes. I ain't gonna lie, it's just some weirdness. I'm just gonna turn this man down a little bit.
This edition of Art Uncensored. It is the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern. We are here and to start a.
Oh no, he's in the same time zone as me. That's terrible. Oh, we need live chat. We need live chat replay. Let's go. We got 140 views. That's not bad.
Whole new week between what we have got and what we are doing and what we will be doing. And this time, well, now that we are getting into the last week of September, and the first convention I'll be doing for the first time in a while is YumaCon, the first weekend of November. And
I would love to do a con run. Like, I love to, like, rent tables and do a con run. I've always wanted to do that. But the reason I have not done that yet, I would have done it years ago, but the reason I have not done it is because of my dog. My dog is a senior dog. He is relatively old at this point. He is 11 now, and he is also very large. So taking him on a big road trip in, like, a car means that I would actually have to I'd have to rent, like, a bigger SUV, and I'd have to truck around all of my equipment as well. It makes it really, like, not very feasible for me to go and do, sadly. What kind of dog do I have? I'll go get him. Hold on, we'll get him. Hey, Buck. Come here. Good boy. Go on to bed. Go on to bed. There he is. Hi, buddy. Oh, hi, buddy. You a good boy? Yes, you're a good boy. Hi, buddy. Puck's the best part of the show. Hi. Hello. Yeah, you were napping. You sleeping? I don't know if you can hear him grumbling. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good boy. Mwah. Yawn. Yeah, you're a good boy. You going to sleep? He's shedding. It's that time of year. Here you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're not done here. Ugh. Grump, grump, grump. You high five? Yeah. Okay. Yes, I know. Alright, I know I called you over here. I gotta make it worth your while. I understand. It's okay, we're not in any hurry to talk about this asshole. Hold on 1 second. Let's do this. There we go. Hi, buddy. Hello. Yes. Yes, you're very cute. You're a very good boy. There's emotes of Puck if you're interested. One of them is press X to pet. Boop. You good? Do you not like that I have the light on in here? It's okay, I'll wait till he's done. You gonna say hi? Don't touch me. You're a good old man. Yes, you are. Yes. And you're getting fuzzies all over my blobfish. Yeah. Bonk. I mean, I'd do the rest of the stream from here if I could reach, but I can't reach, buddy. I can't see anything. They're too far away. I don't have anything. Yes, you're very cute. You're a good boy. Mwah. Anyway, he's still in pretty good shape for an old man. He still jumps all the way off of all of his legs, jumps over bushes and all that good shit. He's got a couple weird little lumps on him, but you know, he's old. You little lumpy buddy? You little lumpy buddy? Alright. Good boy. Ugh. So he's gonna hang out here for a little while. Sorry, I'll catch up on chat real quick. Stop every 2 hours for potty breaks. I mean, yeah. It do be like that. Yes, he's a German Shepherd Border Collie mix. At least that's what they told me. Although I'm not convinced, considering his coloring and his size, I think he might be actually a King Shepherd. Pretty spry for an old guy. He do be. He do be. I was also provided with another... Oh my god. Athens, you crazy man. Leave Brittany alone. He's the kind of guy who would have been like for her stewardship. He'd have been like, yeah, no, Brittany needs to have a man controlling her life, and she needs to not be allowed to do anything, literally ever. That's the right tongue movement, too. That's actually the... Oh, sorry, I didn't actually put it up. Ooh, but there you go. That's actually the correct tongue movement. The L... Leave. It's actually, like, it's at the L. That's fucking... That is... Leave. That's so good. I applaud you. Well done. Well done, good sir. Alright. Okay. Have you all had your fill of Mr. Stinky? I mean, I can't really show his little tiny face. He's like, aye, buddy. He was napping in the hallway, and I woke him up and brought him in here. I'm so mean. Alright, so he's doing a con or something. Is he getting a table? I was unclear about that.
Since that's all Japanese
Hey!
culture, that's all, you know, anime, manga, and their gaming industry, we are going to be doing what is the big anime franchise that now really broke the trend of terrible Hollywood live-action adaptations of anything. TV form, movie form, whatever, and that's why One Piece. We've got little Nami from One Piece right here. We've got Matt G in the chat. I know he's now changed his, now it's Taylor Swift greater than Disney Star Wars, but no, it's Matt G, so hello there. We've got my father in the chat. Let's see who else comes on in. Yes, little Nami in the...
Oh my god. I wish I knew how to pronounce their last name. I have no clue. That's not what I want. I don't want his LinkedIn, assuming he has one. Ah! I see the drunken peasants have just... are in the... Not what I'm looking for. Luke Shocks, Jordan Peterson Twitter ban Tim Allen vindicated from a year ago. Oh, God. No. Not Tim Allen. Yeah, no results. I checked. That's not Nami, that's Nambi from Wish. Tablet users can't compete. I guess I'm doing a painting of Nami on Thursday, just for the sake of it. It seems only appropriate.
the form that people know her the most when in the original manga and on the anime and all that, with the little top and just the jiggly right there. I'm not attracted to tattoos, but she's got the one arm tattoo. All right.
We're not attracted to tattoos, but she got the one right there. She got the jiggly. What is this language? Why? Oh, 7-year-old vocabulary roast me. Oh, why does he refer to himself in the plural? That's because he's speaking for him and his father's writing his script for him and telling him what to say, so that's my guess. Yeah, listen, you gotta look out for those jigglies. They'll get you every time.
I'm going to draw her accurately, even if it's with something I don't agree.
That's not accurately. I don't agree that this anime woman has a tattoo that is massively, massively important to her character and her character art. Or arc, sorry. Nami's tattoo? Do I need to explain? Do I need to explain why Nami's tattoo is so important to who she is? Because that's getting into spoiler territory, particularly for the new series. As part of the Arlong Park arc, because Nami is integral, and in fact the only reason the Arlong Park arc exists. Is that even the updated tattoo? Is that even the correct tattoo?
that I don't like. Now, that's the difference between an actual successful artist who really is able to work and really able to draw.
Get your damn hands off an Ami. Get your damn hands off my waifu. Oh my god, you guys are fucking... I'm just getting these in DMs as we're going, and this is the best. I'm so happy. Wonderful. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. I don't know what I would do without you guys. I wouldn't be able to survive this. Successful artist who is really able to draw. Hold on, I need to put this back. What's he saying?
Are just shrieking ideologues, but then just who really is able to work and really able to draw.
What?
The original manga and on the anime and all that with the little top and just the jiggly right there. I'm not attracted to tattoos, but she's got the one arm tattoo. All right,
the jiggly.
I'm going to draw her accurately, even if it's with something I don't agree, something that I don't like. Now, that's the difference between an actual successful artist who really is able to work and really able to draw, and the difference between that and what you see with the idiots who draw for Marvel or DC, who are just shrieking ideologues, but then you wonder why they're smelly freaks with side shaves and nobody likes them. Even their own parents don't like them. They're the kind of people who would look at Monday Night Football and would just look...
Do you think any parent who liked their child would encourage, enable, and make their child do what's happening here? Do you think that that's a parent who likes their child, or is this a parent who knows that their child is a complete and abject failure and this is the best they're going to be able to get out of them? Because, I feel like that's... If your dad stops treating you like a performing monkey, clapping fucking cymbals together, then maybe I'll take what you have to say seriously.
Through the whole thing to tweet at something. Then again, these are the same people who are a little preoccupied with threatening people over a McDonald's.
One Piece does have a very particular art style, and it actually was a little bit similar to Fairy Tail, at least for a time. Not proportionally, but facially. We can have that conversation another day, though. And if you get me started talking about anime, I will go on my Naruto rant, and I will go on my my Dragon Ball Z rant. Like, it is unstoppable. I will do it, and then I'll inevitably end up talking about Kingdom Hearts, and we are not here for that today.
Commercial, because they can't stand the sight of seeing a happy family together, and nobody's ever bringing up about why is it that you're focusing on that instead of, well, maybe you should just not eat McDonald's in the first place. Or Burger King, before or after the situation where now Burger King is now doing part of the worldwide media fatwa against Russell Brand of the you're guilty until you disappear, not even guilty until proven innocent. Now because Rumble told British Parliament to go fuck themselves.
As if Russell Brand wasn't dead in the water in his career and only existed on YouTube as a pseudoscience fucking conspiracy peddling guru to begin with, right? How do you cancel something like that? Because he's not entitled to make money off of his free speech? Okay.
Now you've got Burger King pulling their ads away from that website Rumble. So with all the more reason to avoid fast food like that, well,
I need supplements to make my jigglies better. Oh boy, no. Oh no.
You are. And remember, if you're the kind of person who's not going to just give it up, you still want something else, similar thing I would say to with the whole Bud Light fiasco that's still going on, and now major retailers are starting to pull Bud Light from their shelves because it's just sitting there and it's been not selling for so many months.
They have to pull it from their shelves because it has an expiry date, you dumb fuck. If that's the case, if that's your reasoning, is it's been months and it's not selling. It's a food product. It can't just stay on the shelf forever. Have you ever consumed alcohol? This makes me want to go to the bar and eat comfort food because I need to go get bar food because my comfort food is bar food. Actually, I'll let you guys in on a secret. So when I was really young, so like, I don't know, somewhere between the ages of 10 and 15, I noticed that I would get cravings and I wouldn't be able to satisfy those cravings. So what I started doing was, and this is like all woman period related. So what I started doing was every time I got a craving, I would eat the same thing. But I would eat a lot of it, right? So that way, like, even if I was still hungry, I would not consume any more because I ate so much, right? And so what I did was I picked a specific thing and I ate that specific thing every time. And so now, if I get cravings currently, I can either recognize that they're cravings, decide I don't want to eat the food that I have now trained myself to eat every time I get cravings because I know that's what I want, and like choose not to have it and not eat anything else because I know those things aren't going to satisfy me. Or I go and I get that thing, eat that thing, and be completely satisfied and not have to worry about it, craving gone. So I get to choose. Do you want to know what it was? I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm not waiting for an answer. So the thing I picked was a Big Mac combo with a large fry, a strawberry milkshake, and a 10-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour sauce specifically. And so I would just take all of this and shove it in my face as fast as possible. So now if I get cravings, I've got a good enough grasp on them that I can go and either, like, I can get, like, one of those things nowadays. I don't need all of that anymore to satisfy it. But I needed, like, options, right? Because if you just pick a burger, you can't just pick, like, any burger. It's got to have a specific taste to it. So I picked the Big Mac and the chicken nugget because the chicken nugget or the Big Mac then gave me options. The fries come with whatever as like a filler, and then the strawberry milkshake is that sugar hit. And I was just like, perfect. And if you're out there, it's not too late. You can train yourself now. So if you want to train yourself, go. One of the other ones that I use once in a while is if I'm having, it's not for period, it's not for like blood moon cravings. It's for like just once in a while. Right? Like, I'll get in a mood, and the way to solve the mood, deep fried pickle spears. Love it. So good. So good. Pizza used to have really, really good ones. Now I've got two. Pickle Barrel does interesting ones, but they're, like, not the spears. They're, like, actually, like, flat pickle cuts. Yeah, blood moon cravings. Yes. Correct. Accurate. Red meat's super good. Did Puck get any pickle spears? Of course he does. When I trained myself on this craving thing, it was before Puck was born. So he was not part of that shenanigans. There was a time in my life before this dog existed. Believe it or not. He's never seen me age a day. I look the same when I got him as when he is now. Go low-key crazy. Yo, that's the iron, man. That's that iron. Your body's looking for that iron, guaranteed. Guaranteed that's what that is. I don't know anything about you. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, Puck does not usually get much of anything. He'll usually get some french fries, and I'll usually give him, like, whatever falls out of the Big Mac into the carton. But he can't have chicken nuggies, because he's allergic to chicken. So no chicken nuggies for Puck. It's a very sad day. Once in a while, I'll give him, like, a tiny, tiny little bite, because he can't eat chicken. He's allergic. So he get no fowl, sadly. Actually saw me get shorter. I haven't gotten any shorter. No, he can't. He can't eat chicken. There's only one type of food that I can buy him, and it's specifically the Pet Value brand senior dog food, because Pet Value is the only because they make an in-house dog food brand. And they're the only ones that make a senior dog food that is not bird. Everything else is bird. He's the only, they're the only ones that make a lamb version. So if you're looking for senior dog food that is not chicken, or if you want to, whether or not your dog needs it, or whether or not your dog maybe just wants a little bit of, you want to put a little bit of variation in your dog's food so they're not eating the same fucking thing all the time, Pet Value makes a senior dog food that is lamb instead of chicken. I really wish there was a seafood one. If there was a fish one, it's really too bad. But he gets spoiled anyway. Look at him, he's sleeping. He's hanging snooze. Oh, little buddy. Anyway. So yeah, no, Puck was not involved in that. However, he gets snacks now. Also, again, it's not too late to train yourself. If you want to train yourselves on craving, just pick something. Pick a thing that you like eating. So, like, if you really like mashed potatoes, and pick something easy. Because, like, you're gonna kind of feel like crap. So, like, make sure you pick something that's not gonna, like, go away anytime soon. So, like, if you have, like, let's say you have, like, a particular bar. So, let's say I picked a local bar. That local bar could be gone in 3 years, and then I'll never be able to find the thing that I trained myself on. So you just need to make sure that you train yourself on something that's not going to go anywhere. So don't pick, like, the Shamrock Shake. Alright? You're going to fuck yourself. You need to pick something that is, like, pick the Frosty from Wendy's. It also doesn't have to be, like, that amount of food. I picked a lot, but I did that on purpose to give myself both variation and to make sure that I was full. Like, I would not want to eat anything else. So, that's my advice. Take it or leave it. You should leave it. I am an idiot. Don't listen to anything I say literally ever about anything. One thing I will not do, though, is I do not give bad advice. Well, I was also, like, a teenager. I was also, like, well, I was not quite a teenager yet. I started doing this, like, when I was very young. Very young. Before 12. Anyway. I was young enough that I could just consume a lot of food really easily. I mean, I can still do that, but I have, like, my metabolism is questionable. I don't eat a lot of bread. Like, this is my bread intake. You know what I mean? I don't count calories because I don't care to, but I do keep it. I have to keep an eye on my diet because I will put on weight really fast. And I like being comfortable in the way I look, so I don't starve myself of any particular food. I just keep an eye on my quantities. But that's just me. You do whatever works for you. Be comfortable in who you are and body you got. If you're not comfortable in a part of your body, figure out what you need to do to make yourself comfortable. Because being comfortable is more important. Bread almost killed me once. There's a story behind that I'm gonna have to hear.
Away. Same thing with Burger King, with McDonald's, or whatever. With Burger King, what they're doing now,
I hate Burger King.
There's still McDonald's, and there's still Wendy's, and those are just the big national chains.
What?
There's also Arby's, and that's not
He's
as
saying
big.
McDonald's versus Burger King and then saying, well, there's still McDonald's. What are you talking about? Veggies are fantastic. I actually eat very little fruit because I prefer savory over salty, so I eat lots of vegetables.
It's still around the country.
Potatoes are great.
Or maybe even
Love
your
potatoes.
region will have some local area, or some that isn't as national, like, you know, Carl's Jr. or Jack in the Box or Checkers or Rallies
As
or
national.
Parties. Or maybe
There's
even
America and
Crystal.
not
When I was
America,
living down
everybody.
in Florida, there was Crystal there, which before that I'd only seen was in a deleted scene from Borat. There was a montage that they
Yes.
cut out from the final film where it's showing.
We decided to watch a live stream just to see if his, like, cadence maintains or if he's still reading a script.
Borat in different parts that involve the South. He's
going live in 2
Civil War
hours.
reenactment in one clip. They also show him as the cashier at Crystal, and okay, that must be some exclusively Southern thing. And there I was living in Orlando, and yeah, there was a Crystal there. Although interestingly, where I was,
All right, he is looking specifically. Assuming that he's not flipped, because he's not. We know he's not mirrored, and we know he's not mirrored because if you look at the thing in the background, we could read it, right? It's not backwards. So we know he's not flipped. Right? So if I, oh, well, here we go. If I hold this up for you guys, it's mirrored, right? Because you saw me flip my thing earlier, right? But if I go this way, so now I'm not mirrored, right? You should be able to read that, right? You see what I mean? So if he's facing this, like he's facing this way, it means that he's looking up and to the left, right? And for anybody who knows anything about body language, you know what that means.
Was on this one road where I had to go down this road in order to either get to these couple other different comic book stores so I could go do the shop, or to get to the best place for like art supplies in the city. Because yeah, there were the Michaels, but this place called Sam Flax that from back
up right is memory. Up left is not.
Back then, there was a Sam Flax in Orlando.
He's got a script
and there was
over
one in
here.
Atlanta, and those were the only two locations. They might have more, or at least, or either that or they completely folded. But to go down that road, when I started going down that road, it was you would have like a lot of dirty construction work. You'd find like broken glass and needles on the road, and around that area with the broken glass and needles and gravel and construction and shit was where you would see the crystal. Then the further and further you went
Blink
down,
twice.
you suddenly see Total Wine and Spirits. You suddenly see a 2-story Barnes & Noble. You suddenly see a McDonald's that looks like it was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. You suddenly see this Bob Evans that somehow made Bob Evans look upscale. And then passing all that, the dirtiest thing I ever saw in that area, and during that fancier part of the area, was the building next to Sam Flax was a little chapter for the Church of Scientology. And go
Maybe
there,
his memory is
the
ambidextrous.
free audit or something like that to try to then sign up for the church, and how then you are financially pretty much dependent upon them.
Yeah,
Where you
he's
have to
likely
give them all your
reading,
money,
or
something like that, or a
he's
portion of whatever. And well,
bullshitting.
they're a religion, so they are tax exempt, at least since the 1980s. But yeah, it's the noise about Scientology has died down to the point of there was a big fever pitch with the HBO documentary. Then now you pretty much only see the wife of Kevin James on King of Queens. Still, that's her thing to go on podcasts and talk about it, or at least now it's mostly podcast appearances, when for a while there it was they would book her on The View, they'd book her on Real Time with Bill Maher, they'd book her on all the other major talk shows like that. And well, Abe is in the chat. Hello to Abe. Yes, straight from Geeks and Gamers, who are doing one of their expected 7,000 streams in a day. And not just Geeks and Gamers, I think, from the main site, but all the people who have their own separate.
All right, I'm clicking ahead. What else you got for
talk
me?
Show skit that they did on Mad TV. Get your ass out of bed.
There are members who pays this man? What? Who gives this man money? Are you fucking serious? Scientology just died down. What the fuck is he talking about? A massive organization with a ridiculous amount of influence. Okay, so interesting enough, if you look at he's not wrong, but he's correct for the wrong reasons. So Scientology has died down in its popularity and in the amount that it's able to bring in new members. However, he is like Scientology. He's still wrong in that Scientology is still very large. Especially to be talking about Scientology like this 7 days ago, which is just around the ending of the Danny Masterson case, which has brought a ton of negative press onto Scientology, massive. So anybody who doesn't know who Danny Masterson is, I've talked about this before. But I definitely recommend checking out Chris Shelton's channel if you're interested in following this a little bit more closely and knowing a little bit more about Scientology. But that aside, Danny Masterson was Hyde on That 70s Show, and I believe he was on the Pineapple Express, if I'm not mistaken. He was in that movie. Did he ever claim to be unscripted? I don't think so. I'm just wondering if there's anything that if he's ever been just had a conversation like a normal fucking human being. Yeah, that's Danny Masterson. So Danny Masterson was convicted for 30 to life for rape, multiple charges of rape. And there is investigations into Scientology's hand in attempting to cover it up. So there's currently actually a lot going on with Scientology right now. So this is an odd thing to say as of like right now and as of like a week or so ago. So, you know,
ghetto like version of Good Morning
good for
America.
you.
And the clock at the bottom of the screen is just blinking noon because nobody knows how to set up the time. Ain't that right there? That's right, Roger. Oh yeah, Roger. Roger. What, Roger? Yeah. Okay. I don't know about you or where. I don't know about in your neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, when I go into the post office, if there's any other customers,
I don't believe
we're
you
the
leave
only
the
other
house.
white people there. We go in there, and there is a lot.
Are you telling me you are like an anti-Black Lives Matter white dude in a not white dude neighborhood? Like you're in a black neighborhood? Are you fucking serious? What are you doing, Buck? Oh, do you want out now? Is my yelling bothering you? Okay. Off you go. Good boy. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. He lives outside of Detroit. Oh. Wait, like rural Detroit? So, like, he's not... Is he in a city? Or is he, like, in... Is it, like, his... Because outside of Detroit could still be, like, intercity, but not Detroit, right? There's no way he actually shares his real opinion in the public. I mean, this is assuming that he has a real opinion and he isn't just repeating whatever he's told to say, right? I don't think we've actually seen what this dude's real opinion is. Has he ever been on, like, a stream where he's talking to somebody that isn't, like, his dad or somebody that he's friends with? Has he ever, like... Yes, definitely a regurgitator, for sure. Oh, he lives in the suburbs. I can't... The only way I can parse somebody this pasty being anti-Black Lives Matter while also living in a, like, predominantly black area is because, like, how do I phrase this? It's crabs in a bucket. You know what I mean? NPC, yeah. He says speak and spell. Like crabs in a bucket, where he's just like, those people don't deserve to succeed because I don't deserve. Those people aren't suffering because I'm also in that place. Because he's too stupid to recognize the differences between cultural warfare and class warfare and how those are interconnected and in what ways they are. Does that make sense? Did the way I say that made sense to you guys? Because, like, what I mean to say is there's warfare between, like, whether or not black people are treated equally within society or any other minority is treated equally in society, and then there's class warfare. So you could be a white person in the same position as a black person, but it does not mean that the same pressures are applied to you to have equaled the same position. So, like, whereas the black person is suffering from this, and this, the white person is suffering this, 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 and this equals the same position, which for an entitled white person would come off as, well, racism's not real because I'm in the same position as the black person, therefore I don't have any additional privileges, completely missing the idea or the concept of privilege in the first place, and complete, like, unequal inequality, right, and, like, no equity whatsoever, right? So that's the only way I'm parsing that if what he's saying about going to the post office is true, which I already doubt because I don't believe this man leaves the house. Also, Landon, can you go make me an egg, please? I need a snack. I'm gonna make popcorn after that. I should have made popcorn before this. What was I thinking?
Of us sisters. Hi there, baby. Or if they're talking like that, then they're at least looking at me like they want some they want some Wonder Bread.
Nobody is looking at you and thinking, I want some Wonder Bread. People might look at me and think they want some Wonder Bread, but they're definitely not looking at you and thinking they want some fucking Wonder Bread. Not in the slightest. I do not believe this. X to doubt. No. Absolutely not. No way in hell. I do not believe this for a second. I also would never phrase this way because it is incredibly condescending and fucked up to even say it like that. What is wrong with you? Oh my god. He's definitely Wonder Bread. He is Wonder Bread, but nobody's looking at... I don't even know if anybody is in the grocery store and says, ooh, yeah, that's what I want, Wonder Bread. No. You buy Wonder Bread because you have no money. Because you can't get anything better. That's why you buy Wonder Bread. If you can afford good bread, you buy good bread. And Wonder Bread is not good bread. Fuck you. No way in hell. Absolutely not. No way. No. Nope. Nope. This is, hold on. No, I have a response. I have a video response for this. No. Nope. Nope. Nope.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. No way. We got you. Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. Not this time. Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
Alright, so for anybody who wants to know about this, it's 47 seconds long. I'll give it to you so you guys can use it.
I have a series of...
Shut up, you're hilarious. I love you, but don't talk to me. There's
It's false.
There's Jonathan Franks tells you you're wrong for 45 seconds. Jonathan Franks tells you things. Jonathan Franks interrogates you. Jonathan Franks tells you you're right for 41 seconds. Jonathan Franks asks you things. There's so many. They're amazing. They're some of my favorite fucking YouTube clips. So yeah, no, absolutely. You want me to put on another one? Hold on.
Firefighters are constant reminders of heroic behavior. Auto racing has become one of America's fastest growing sports. Thieves are
Tells you
difficult to
things.
outsmart.
Dolls seem to have their own personalities.
Milk only comes in a carton. Many crimes remain a mystery forever.
Making movies is easier than it's ever been.
The conscience is a meddlesome companion. The guillotine has been out of fashion for a while. Comic books are serious business. The video business has become big business.
I
All
love
access
Riker.
pass is a precious commodity.
If you can remember the 60s, you weren't really there. Wheelchairs like this are
Such
used
a
in many
goober.
ways. Of course, it's always safer to hike in groups.
Horses
In
have
action.
long been thought of as magical creatures. History is filled with stories of magic clothing. The corner drugstore was a magical place. One of the things that brings people together is the joy of cooking. But all the information about the opposite sex is meaningless unless it's accompanied by an understanding of the heart.
Aww.
What really happened here? Who was
That's
the
a
cowboy
good-
who
you know
confronted Johnny
what?
and Larry that night?
You know what? That's a really good response to Luke's bullshit. There can be no understanding between the genders unless there's understanding in the heart. Aww.
What really happened here? Who was the cowboy who confronted Johnny and Larry that night? Was the old woman in on it too? Could Danny have been hallucinating? But if Dan was hallucinating, who ate house food? What about the mysterious behavior of the barbecue lid? Was it really?
That's my favorite. I actually use that one when people are like trying to fucking troll and like just ask questions about things. I always respond with, but what about the mysterious behavior of the barbecue lid? Fucking hilarious.
The nanny. Does this story seem possible? Was the morgue attendant in on the deception too? Were there gases trapped within the milk bucket that caused the activity? How was the doctor able to send email without a computer? Was the sewing machine taken over by the spirit of Byron's grandmother?
Could a plant really identify a murderer?
Is it possible that a parrot could give a young girl the will to live? Was the sister's husband really the victim of amnesia? But then how do you explain the bullet hole in his phone? Is this story true? Can a fertilized octopus egg ingested into the human system actually grow inside the body? Do you believe this story?
Do you believe this story? I fucking love these. They're so great.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
You're right. It's fact. Yes. Yes. A similar event did take place. You're right. You were right.
Our research found a published report of a similar story.
Yes, it was.
A similar story
I
happened
love
to a
these
young man
so much.
in the Pacific Northwest about 20 years ago.
It happened. A similar event took place. You're right again. You're right.
A similar story happened to a teacher in the Florida area.
It happened. You were correct. It's fact. It happened. This one took
Yes.
place.
This is all from like Ripley. This is like a Ripley show. I can't remember what it was called.
Similar
This is
story
like Ripley's
occurred in the
Believe It or
state of
Not.
New Jersey about 20 years ago.
I fucking love it. Oh my god. Yeah, Beyond Fiction. There was talk about a new one coming out, but I never saw it. If the Clockwork Elves exist. Fact or fiction. Yeah. Okay, so did somebody say there was one? Alright, well. Jonathan Frakes arguing with himself for 41 seconds.
A similar story happened to a young man in the Pacific Northwest about 20 years ago.
No way. Not this
No
time.
way.
It happened. A similar event took place. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
A similar story happened to a teacher in the Florida area.
It happened. No, not this time. It's fact. It happened. This one took place. It's fiction.
Alright, somebody put the put them in conjunction for Oh, beyond belief, fact or fiction. Yeah. Oh my god, so fucking good. Both have goatees, but how will I ever tell which one is evil? Disappointed. Alright, I hit play on this. I'm gonna walk away and let this guy talk for like a minute, and we'll see like how much my brain explodes.
And Abe, well, I haven't heard from Vanessa V in a few days, so I'm just thinking she's gonna go off with her problems and take care of what happened with the the death in the family. All right. Data Dysfunction says, I feel bad for Tug right now. Some private stuff is coming out. Well, are you of liberty to say what this private stuff is coming out? I'd like to know, because I know he's not he hasn't been streaming for a few days. Well, 6 Foot Soka, well, 6 Foot Soka's out there in California, so he knows what I mean about when you go to the post office. So, yeah, here in Detroit, there he is in California. You know you're going there. Hi, baby. Yeah. Hi, it's a lot of Miss Parkers out there. A little bit of that. If you remember all those Ghetto Fabulous sitcoms that UPN had, those shows like Girlfriends or The Parkers, or was another one, One on One. If you remember that one, yeah, baby. What you shipping out tonight, baby? I see that right there. It'll be good. You looking good too. That's why with either.
What the fuck? It feels like he's trying to do impressions, and they're just not. I'm not sold. On the other hand, though, have you noticed that his whole fucking all of his complaints and his general vibe, right? All of the videos. All I missed was no. I was still listening. I heard. I heard. If you notice, all of his, there's two main we'll call it two main undertones for all of his content, right? All of it. All of his content has two main underlying factors: bigotry and what's the other word I'm looking for here? I mean, besides ignorance. Ignorance doesn't count. It's everything is he hates women and doesn't want to be a minority. Like that's the thing, right? Those are the two things. It's misogyny and bigotry. He's like, I'm white, I am special, therefore. Going to the post office sucks because there's black people there. Right? Going to the movies sucks because there's women in the movies. Right? He has two issues, and that's it. And everything is buried deep in these. It's not even deep. I shouldn't even call it deep. It's just all wrapped up. It's just like he's trying to dress up two problems that he finds in literally everything, because believe it or not, when you take women and you take all minorities, they outnumber white people. Go figure. They outnumber, specifically straight white men. Go fucking figure. How long till he does blackface? I don't think he's creative enough. Because the thing is I would not be surprised if this person ever leaves the house, right? If Luke leaves the house, particularly if he ever leaves the house without his father and opens his fucking mouth, he gets shit on, right? He gets either the people, he's standing in line at the bank and he says something to his dad, and the people at the bank are short with him, right? Because they don't want to deal with his stupid ass, right? You know what I mean? So, his whole complaint is, I'm white and I'm not surrounded by other like-minded white people, and so life is so hard and everything sucks, and oh my god, every single movie isn't a wonderful masterpiece that's created specifically for my personal power fantasy, therefore woke mind virus. This is the fucking... And he bitches about other people being entitled. If they're entitled, then they wouldn't be asking for the thing in the first place. You know what I mean? If a minority is wow, I'm really happy to see Blue Beetle because I feel like Blue Beetle represents me and my family and the kind of people we are and the culture around what I grew up with, so I can identify with it. That's entitlement. The fuck it is. 4 beers, a can of shoe polish, and a dare. Fuck around and find out. And he's also got this, and this is part of where that entitlement comes in, right? This is where that privilege comes in, no matter where he's from, no matter how he's grown up, right? Is he's in this position where he thinks that he's right. You know what I mean? There's an audacity that comes with being a straight white man in America. You know what I mean? He's got this idea in his head that his opinion is inherently valid. He's got this idea in his head that anything that's not directed at him or doesn't please him directly is inherently bad or inherently wrong. Like should not, or morally offensive. He took Bambi, a woman saying, hey, we want to remake Bambi and maybe make it less traumatic for children, and turned that into a pagan Antifa child sacrifice. Like, you can only jump the shark so fucking far, my guy. Or I'm pressing X to doubt that he's heterosexual. Okay, so here's the thing. From his videos, because his dad writes the scripts, there's a position of like a lot of projection coming out of. So from his scripts, I wouldn't be surprised if his dad is not heterosexual, because he spends a lot of time talking about dick. He spends a lot of time talking about dick. I don't know about him because I am not convinced that I've seen him live or in a video portraying an actual individual opinion or thought that he came up with on his own. You know what I mean? If you could not tell, fart noises are like I'm very good at. I've practiced. Everyone loves a good fart joke. Could you imagine Luke on nose beers? Luke needs to, like, go fucking get high and touch grass. Like, you know what he needs to... I get the feeling like his dad is a movie buff and he's not. Like, that's the vibe I get. If anybody has one, if a video out there exists of Luke talking about something he actually enjoys, I would love to see it. I would actually, because then we can... I feel like if he talks about something he actually likes, we can get something that's actually like, there's some meat you could chew on there. There's actually something that you could look at and be like, no, he actually cares about this thing. There's something earnest there. There's something tangible. There's like, at least then you can kind of get a vibe for like not whatever character his dad is using him to vicariously portray on the internet. Because I guess his dad is too old to think that he could make his own channel. Like, why the fuck doesn't the dad make his own channel? Right? Wait, 9 ads? Are you fucking kidding? I didn't do that. That wasn't me. That's terrible. Yikes. So his dad is a coward, so he makes the dad do the work for him. Okay, I'll wait. That's fine. I can vibe. I'm trying to think about, like, 9 ad streak. Well, at least it's not just me, I guess. Kids is... What is it called? Munchausen's? Where you have, like, a... You project a disease onto your child, whether or not they actually have one. Munchausen's, I think is what it's called. I mean, that's not what this would be, technically, right? Because you can live vicariously and project onto your child and gaslight and be toxic as shit towards them without actually having, like imposing a disease. I called him on it. Oh, sorry. Who did you call? Wait, hold on. Sorry. I need to go back and chat so I can make sure I understand. Oh, your ex-mates. Oh, okay. Called him out on it, and he sicked his kids on me. Ew. 20 ads at the break, but at least it was a break. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Damn. Are they, like, are the ads super short? Because, like, I'm wondering if it rolled, like, a a 1 minute ad, but it was like 9 ads to equal a minute. Sorry, I was just asking about the length of the ads. 30 seconds for a total of 9 minutes. That's interesting. So it's like a large number in like a minute long time frame. But I imagine they feel a lot longer because there's so many of them, right? Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, my mistake. 15 to 30 seconds. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Who are these people that are giving this motherfucker money? Who are you? Tell me who you are. Do you have a channel? The dad doesn't have a channel because, like, boo. I would 100% invite... I would talk to Luke. I would do that. I would have a conversation with this dude. I don't know if I'd want to be, like, in the same room. I would be in the same room if there was other people around. Like, I would not want to be in the same room with Luke if it was only Luke. And this is this one, maybe? Okay. Good mythical morning. I don't know if that was the right one.
Holler if you hear.
Shut up! No, it wasn't the right one. His dad won't let him. I mean, if I was his dad and I was this controlling and this was what I was trying to build for, like, if this is what I was trying to go for, yeah, I wouldn't let him be live either because he's not capable. Right? Like, he is clearly not capable of handling a one-on-one conversation, let alone a one-on-one conversation with a woman. I feel like Holler If You Hear Me could be really cute and, like, could be a cute catchphrase if this wasn't what it was coming from. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you would ask this kid one fucking thing and he would just have a full-ass breakdown. Here's how this guy is in his intro. That's not my opinion, I know I'm right. Is based on opinions that are not his own and clearly from others. Conviction is self via stupidity and willful ignorance do not a great man make. You're not wrong. Oh, you think he's special needs and if he was my son, I wouldn't let him do this. No shade. I try not personally. Okay, so like I think that's a totally valid and fine opinion to have. I personally, because I do creation and because of like that sphere that I work in, I specifically make attempts to not comment about whether or not somebody is like special needs or has any kind of mental issue. Unless it is like blatantly obvious or has been shown or they've said that they have a thing. Specifically, and I like my reasoning behind this is specifically because that is not my responsibility, right? Not only do I refuse to treat people who have any kind of disability issue learning thing, I refuse to treat them as invalids, meaning that they have every right and choice to post or do whatever they want, and if they haven't told me that they have that thing, I have no responsibility to make that assumption and then make those concessions. The only way I will like I'll just cut and run is if somebody has an issue, clearly has an issue, and is breaking some kind of guardianship. So, like, they should be under some kind of guardianship where they're not allowed on the internet or they're not allowed on the internet without somebody watching them. At that point, I'll just be like, no, I'm not going to comment on what's going on with them because that's not kosher. So that's kind of just where I draw my, just so you have an idea of like where I draw my boundary lines. So like, I'm not gonna have a problem talking about Luke here because I don't have enough basis to make that assumption. He hasn't said as much. If he's being abused by his dad, I mean, that's something that is kind of an undertone of all of his videos, right? There's kind of like an undertone. Because how do I know if he believes any of the thing he's saying? Right? He's not writing the scripts. Oh, it kind of makes you sad and angry at his dad. I mean, that's fair. And Luke's an adult and he's just a pathetic one. Yeah, that's also fair. There's no end to his crazy chatter. Yeah, also that. It's just one of those things, right? Where it's like, you don't want to make assumptions on people, and you also don't want to make assumptions on disabled people, because not every disabled person is going to just turn into that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just, like, listen, disabled people, this is your fucking responsibility. Like, that's not fair. They didn't do this to us. I don't know. It's like, it's a complicated issue. So I try to either, if somebody says that they have an issue, I'll generally take their word for it and then adapt as necessary. And if they are somebody who does not say they do and there's no like confirmation that they do, I will assume that they don't, because if they like that, again, that's not my responsibility. And if it turns out later that they do, then that's something we'll talk about and be like, okay, well, now we have a new lens to look at these things through. We are also kind of throwing out that maybe his dad is taking advantage of him one way or another, or like maybe he's like, listen, you gotta earn your keep, boy, and like makes him do these shitty ass videos. Could you imagine? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. He does seem to be pissy at women. Like, that does come through. I agree with you, April. You can hear in a general sense of disgust when he talks about women. I know it's not his script, but it feels genuine. Yeah, the dislike of women is that comes through. I hear that loud and clear. I don't much care, to be brutally honest. I mean, I think that's fair too. Like, just because you have some kind of disability doesn't absolve you from culpability or responsibility when you decide to hit the go live button. Like, the thing is like, when it comes to like doing a live stream, there are steps, right? You don't just, you have to make an account. You have to set up your streaming software. You have to hit the go live button. You have to, like, there's steps that are involved, right? It's not just like oops, I accidentally, you know what I mean? So I think that Rez's position is relatively fair, because there are plenty of between point A and point H before you get to even being online in any kind of live capacity, right? So I think that's a little bit reason. I guess you could say you're hollering because you heard his misogyny. Listen here, you random guy. I ain't no holla back girl. No, I will, absolutely. If he makes a fucking response video to me or talks about me, I am absolutely gonna watch and love every single second of it. Oh my god. I would love that. I'd just be like, oh, it's my birthday. Please. Respond. Tell Elmo. I love that. I love everything about that. Alright, are we done with Luke? I think we're done with Luke. We spent like fucking 3.5 hours talking about this guy. He's gonna be live though. Do we dare? How long is it gonna be? He's live in 73 minutes. Wait. Oh, okay, no, that's his Streamlabs. For a second, I thought he gave, like, an invite to his fucking call, because that, I would 100% go into that. Oh my god, yes. So he's live at 22, which I believe is 10 my time, and it's currently 9. So he's gonna be live in, like, an hour. No, we're not talking about John. That dude lost his mind for fucking 2 weeks. Bro, he was losing it. If I talk about him again, I'm gonna give the poor man a heart attack. Oh my god. Yeah, if you take one thing... No, Rez, you're 100% right. If you take one thing at its word, you have to take everything at its word. Not like you have to assume what he's saying is correct, but you have to take what he's saying as earnest. You know, like goes to camp. That kind of earnest. Talk about unrelated, like, facial mugging comedy, right? You can't choose when you feel empathy. Yeah, I mean, you can feel empathy without making excuses, right? I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I more mean, like, how do I explain this? I more mean, like, you don't have to come up with additional justification for why you feel empathy, right? So you don't have to say that, oh, well, maybe he has this, or maybe he has that, or maybe this, that, or the other thing. You can just say, I feel empathetic towards the guy because this is what I'm witnessing is fucking pathetic. Like, you don't need to throw extra things in there. You're justified, period, right? Because whether we like it or not, feelings are justified. Your reasoning and your opinion and the information that got you to that feeling might not be, but the feeling itself is. So you're never unjustified to feel empathetic because feelings are valid, period. So if Luke watched this video or watched the stream and felt angry, I would have to acknowledge that his feelings are justified, whether I think that his reasoning and how he got to feeling angry is valid or justified. Does that make sense? It's like, there's this really weird, and like sometimes it's more awkward than others, right? Sometimes you have to be like, hey, listen, this horrible piece of shit person feels upset because, okay, so let's take Danny Masterson, for example. Let's say, like, Danny Masterson feels upset and angry at the way the media is portraying him. And you could say, yeah, his feelings are valid. Like, he feels upset, and we can assume that, like, we can take his word for that and be like, okay, yeah, great. So the fuck what? Yeah, and? Is what the media is saying true or justified? Yes or no? If what they're saying is not justified, then okay, you may or may not be more sympathetic or empathetic depending on how you personally operate. But if the news, so like Russell Brand is running around being like, oh, there's a worldwide media conspiracy to take me down because I told people that there's a global conglomerate that has a public-facing website exists. Okay, that's your opinion, man. And I feel very upset about it. Okay, you feel... Sorry, let me talk like Russell about it. And I feel very upset about it. This is a thing that I am very upset about, and this is attacking you. Sorry, it's really hard for me to do, like, his teeth thing. Right? And so, like, just because feelings are valid doesn't mean you have to care about them, or doesn't mean you have to think that how they got there is valid. Right. Yeah, exactly. Or it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, just because he believes there's a conspiracy theory, or believes that there's a conspiracy against him, doesn't mean there inherently is. The feeling is valid. The fact of the matter may or may not be, right? I blinked way too many times. I need to stare and speak like this and be like, everyone, you have to listen to me. It's not a good voice for him, but I can't do the teeth thing without that voice. It's very hard, you understand. I guess he's got an accent too, right? What's the accent? Where's he from? He's got that London accent, and then he speaks with his hands like this, like it's really important what he's saying. And then, but it's not like a Cockney, it's a posh British. So it's got like all of the things that have like the very open mouth, and his teeth are always showing and always together. And he's always perpetually biting into an apple is a fantastic way to put that. Oh my god. There's something about his teeth always being out and showing that I can't just quite emulate. My Donald Trump is better. Anyway. All I wanted to do was like dive into Luke a little bit, and I feel like we only really watched like a couple of things. I don't know, man. I got nothing. I'm not even gonna make videos out of this. I feel like what's gonna end up happening is, provided my schedule is like functional like properly, then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna do 1 month of content that turns into videos, and then the rest of the Tuesdays of that month just dicking around. Yeah, you're not wrong. Brother, like, I am not editing down me watching that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do that. No. That's none of the things I covered today are worth editing into fucking videos. Absolutely, I refuse. I will not. I do not. Anyway, you guys make sure you send me who you want me to look at next. We'll check up on him again. We'll see. I am not going to watch his live, especially while he's live, because there's no way I would even be remotely close to handling watching this individual without like the speed turned up. And I do not. However, if one of you is a trolly enough motherfucker and you get this guy to come onto a live stream conversation, you fucking call me, because I want to be there. I need this. There's nothing I enjoy more than fucking digging into like weenie men who think they fucking know what they're talking about and think that they have any fucking idea about how to handle women. I.e. Dr. Witnesser. That motherfucker. Boy. By the way, Dr. Witnesser has rebranded himself entirely. No longer goes by Dr. Witnesser and only goes by like Edward Preach or whatever the fuck now. But he's still making creepo, weirdo, fucking, I'm gonna play video games with children and preach the gospel to them and tell them they're going to hell and talk about, like, adult sex with them because he's a fucking weirdo. Yes. Correct. Alright, I'm gonna raid. We're going to go to, where is he? We're gonna go to Offbeat Outlaw, who is playing Baldur's Gate 3. Please enjoy. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know in the Discord, join the Discord, who you want to cover next, and we will be there and do that. Thank you so much. Yeah, if Dapper's live, go watch Dapper. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.